let's go ahead and continue on here as we were. So last time ran into a little bit of a problem. A little bit of a recap here. We need to get leveled up here. So first of all, we need. It turns out we need 28, not 29 on the Terror Knight. I was actually mistaken last time. The weird part is, in different chapters of the game, scaling up happens at different times. So I believe it was on the law route that you end up scaling up at 28, whereas for this one it seems you scale up at 29. I'm not 100% sure if that's completely accurate or not. That might have been in some weird case where they kind of leveled up in the middle of the fight. Now, I was thinking, and I was testing this out, because technically speaking, it would be possible to take the easy version of this fight, and then kill off Aurelius in the next fight, which would give enough experience to put him up to 29, and then, you know, essentially have Diebold come in at 29. Now, the problem is, that doesn't seem to work. It seems like it'll still keep his equipment that he had during the fight. So this unfortunately means that that's kind of not an option there. Theoretically, it also would be possible to just level up any other class, though. So I'm going to try one thing real quick, just to see if we can take the easy route here. Because the easiest method, as far as I see it, would just be to go to Lake Bordeaux. There's a couple fights that can happen here that essentially will allow for making pretty short work of this fight. Essentially, what we want is a fight where we can essentially cheese status effects, more or less. Because that is the one thing the Dark Knight, or the Terror Knight, has going for it. It's got all these different status effects and things like that. He unfortunately doesn't have access to drain power at this point, which would be very, very handy. Let me just double check that that is still the case. Yes, so he can learn all this other stuff. Drain Mind won't be very useful right now, but we'll go ahead and put it up there anyway. Gravity Flex actually might be in this upcoming map, and Dead Man's Ivy, not really, but, you know, whatever. It is what it is. So, okay. Let's go ahead and set him up, actually, because I didn't actually set up his skills for this yet. Lament of the Dead sounds pretty good. So, here's the thing. We need to have units that are not getting advanced gear, which is why we're going to be going for Lake Bordeaux here. And if this fails, I'm going to have to go and, you know, do that whole saving loop over again. So it looks like we got one unit with actual equipment, because, yeah, scaled up, or two, actually. Scaled up equipment is very difficult for us to deal with, but there is a lower amount of enemies and a very high likelihood that most of them will be beasts on this map. So, obviously, 5v1 is going to be a lot easier to deal with than, say, you know, friggin' 7v1 or 8v1 or whatever else from the other places. Now, looking at these ones here, I'd say the Berserker's probably the easiest to deal with. Unfortunately, he's got a Ring of Alacrity here, which will be giving him a lot more accuracy with his finisher, so we can never let him get one. Same thing with this guy, coming in with a Ring of Alacrity. That one's coming in with a Vigor, that one's coming in with an Evasion. So this guy would be the easiest to deal with by a pretty wide margin. But yeah, so we're running into a situation here where they're going to have some skills available. We're probably going to have to take out that Warrior first anyway because he's got a 100% move. Because all that we can really rely on here is the fact that we can parry and evade really well. So, what we're going to want is, unfortunately, to go straight down the middle here. Actually, no. Alright, our best bet is actually to probably go buff, probably throw some poison out there. And then take that tile up there. Unfortunately, we don't have any kind of rampart aura or whatever else. But there is potentially a way around this. If we use leaden and then we take this tile over here, then that should prevent some of the shenanigans. But yeah. Hello there, Mr. Helios. How's it going? Good morning. So yeah, this fight should, by all accounts, not be possible, but it has better odds to succeed than many of the other ones. Unfortunately, again, this is still with the Terror Knight, so it's not a very good class. Well, for this run anyway. I feel like I keep being down on the Terror Knight. It's like, yeah, it's situational, let's be honest. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to go ahead and pop up a dodge here. We're going to need to be dodging a heck of a lot here. The thing is, I need to make sure that the two heavy hitters never get a turn, or rather never get their TP going. The downside of that whole situation is, oof, yeah, even with that, yeah, even with all of that, his evasion is not fantastic. So what we're going to do is try to just ruin everybody, functionally speaking, here. So probably can be looking at something like this. Yeah, slow. Yeah, let's slow this guy down a little bit. Hopefully give us some time to circle around him, because we are really, really, really slow as it is anyway. Once we get Lament of the Dead off, then we should be able to be fighting on somewhat even ground. At that point, we can probably start doing actual damage. Ooh, my sweet goodness, you do a ton. Yeah, comparatively speaking, we do no damage here. Because, yeah, our equipment is, like, 9 tiers behind these guys, so that's not ideal, obviously. Alright, please parry this, or block it, or something. Like, worst case scenario, we'll try leveling up a different class and just hope for the best. Now, as far as Grand Cross goes, that can still do a decent chunk, but we're not strengthened at the moment because that's not what I was prepping for. So, alright, what we're going to do... it doesn't look like there's really anything that's going to be possible for this setup right here. Might be able to stun this guy, might be able to make some business happen off that. Probably stunning this one's going to be the best bet. They don't come in with healing on this map, or at least it's very rare. I actually can't think of any loadouts on this map that actually do come with healing. So it's just a matter of attrition. So functionally speaking, if well, we already saw that the paralytic wave wasn't going to work, but something like poison mist and running away could. So there's options. There's options for this one for sure. So we're going to go ahead and change our loadout a little bit, because obviously that armor is not going to be enough to actually put up with these guys. But first things first, let's go ahead and put up Dark, put up Lament of the Dead. Equipment-wise, let's go for something a little bit lighter here. Go for a cross, go for some Vagrant Sleeves. Excuse me, Mr. Puppy, why are you over here grinding and whining? Alright. Now, interesting thing, I could have sworn these came with a luck bonus. Must be crazy. Alright, anyway, luck bonus sounds pretty good, though. So we're just going to go full into luck here. Going pretty lightweight with this equipment, that's why I was going for gloves over anything else. Since casters are mostly relegated to that Cyclops that can spawn in. Yeah, you may recognize this map as that one where you basically went to go get, what's it? It's the one where you came to get ancient wood if you happen to run out and need it for something. Alright, so go ahead and do that. Go ahead and save it real quick. Now, we don't want Tynmouth. Unfortunately, Tynmouth spawns in with archers, and that's nothing doable here. What console is this? This is PSP. So yeah, this, if you've, have you never played Tactics Ogre, man? This game is amazing. And by the way, this is the overhaul mod of it. This is the One Vision overhaul. Basically, it's like, how do I even put this? If you've heard of Final Fantasy Tactics, it's basically the same people that made it. This is both the prequel and the sequel. Also, this spawn isn't going to work for this challenge. Because there's a Cyclops right there, and he is going to wreck my butt really good. So that's not going to function terribly great. Having it spawn in the rain, though, is fantastic. So, the best thing that we can hope to achieve here is, like I was saying earlier, if we can get Poison Mist off on the entire team, and get them into a debuff removal loop. Ooh. Huh, you know what? Actually, we might be able to Drain Mind that guy over and over. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, this game is amazing! But the base game is a little bit jankily balanced, so there's this mod. And it's all sweet and nifty-like. Alright, so we can start off with an 81 on everybody. The thing is, that health suck right there is kind of our big heal move, as it were. So we can use it a couple times. Nothing super amazing, but it's there. So if we can get a poison off. There we go, poison and weakened. Nifty, nifty. And so that's basically what we want to do here. We just want to whittle him down with poison, finish him with a finisher. And that's kind of the plan. I've pulled this off before. It's not a very great backup strategy, but it is what it is. Good morning, Mr. Cow. How's it going? As you can see there, only having 3% to dodge is not fantastic. Realistically, what we might go for is just going and picking up that Dragoon, and then see about going about it that way. It's just, this method, like I said, it can work if it wants to. So, funny part was, that was him weakened. He's weakened, he's already doing more than 25% of our health here. Alright, give him the suck. Actually, wait a minute. No, reset the turn real quick. Just give him, see if we can do Lament of the Dead here. Because yeah, if we can do that, that might give us a little bit of better options. Problem is, we don't... I guess technically we have a Glass Pumpkin, don't we? That might potentially be an approach here. By the way, Mr. Helios, to kind of explain what's going on with this soul situation, because there's a decent amount of things here. So, solo run, normally speaking, is kind of a challenge in and of itself in the normal game, which I've been doing videos of that. That's been going up slowly. Yeah, these rain effects, man. I love the rain and the weather and everything else in this. It looks nice. Like, this game is... They put so much more love into it than they ever should have needed to. Yeah, we're getting wrecked in the butt real good here. So, let's see. Can we pull a Grand Cross? Is anything gonna... Like, we can do a decent chunk with that, but the problem is we don't have a strength in yet. I need about 3 to 4 turns to properly set up for this. So what we can do... the ideal kind of placement here is we need one of these off tiles. Let me take a quick peek, because I think if we take this tile right here... does that put us in... It's still vulnerable from some areas, but it's still doable. If we go to... If we go to that tile there... I'm basically looking for tiles that don't have an immediate one next to them. Yeah, if we go for that one, I'll just get hit by Talon Dives over and over. There isn't anything with a 2-tile distance as far as I can tell, unless we take that one and then we do Leaden. That would essentially give them 1 tile to work with. And I'm talking about that tile in the very corner, by the way. Unfortunately, actually getting there is a completely different story. Alright. So let's see if we can dodge everything forever. Or just go out with a bang, why not? Just pull Leroy Jenkins here. Oh well, oh well. It's alright, we'll go about this another way. So, to kind of explain why this is an issue, because it seems like it probably would stick out like a sore thumb. Basically... Oh yeah, they do have 1 archer that can spawn here. And archers are going to be the big scary thing, because they cannot miss in these circumstances. Even though it's raining, they will not miss. Just because scaled-up archers are actual professionals, and we've been fighting complete chumps up to this point. So yeah, basically the Terror Knight does not have any healing, or no effective healing. The best healing that would be available at this point would be Healing Seeds, which heal for 150. These guys can maybe health suck for like 100-something. Usually it's going to be closer to the 40-50 range, which is less than your basic healing item that does 50. As far as damage goes, they're pretty alright. If they can get this off, it's got a 60% chance to hit in every tile that it affects. That plus strengthen, plus a finisher move will finish off pretty much anything. But yeah, actually setting that up takes a few turns. I need to save these points for later, but I'm trying to see if there's anything in particular that might be handy. Because I'm actually starting to think, what if I pick up Wade? Because then I might have complete control over everything there. Alright, experiment time. Experiment time. Poison isn't as much of an issue. So we're going to go ahead and pick up Wade. We are going to go... Oh, actually, wait a minute. Unless there's an octopus, this fight is completely cheesable. Okay, actually, let's do this thing. We need... What are we looking at here? We need gloves. I need them fancy nomad gloves, and we're gonna turn them all casty-like. So, okay, let's go to armor. Vagrant sleeves, we need some leather. To make leather, we need tenon. To make tenon, we need herbalism. To make herbalism, we need to already have herbalism, which we do! And to make tenon, there we go. We need some friggin', like, that's not ginseng at all. It's like some mint and some water, and somehow we're going to go ahead and cure some leather with this. Why not? Who cares? So let's go ahead and slap that sucker in there. Make some nice casty gloves. So the reason I'm doing this is just to give it a little bit of better odds for his debuffs to land. And essentially, functionally, what we're going to do is we are going to become a wizard that does not wizard very well. So, wait a minute, those already are vagrant sleeves. I'm an idiot. I'm a complete idiot. Okay, hang on. They did have a luck bonus. Alright. So, now that I've completely, thoroughly wasted some resources, and this should be the last fight that we have to worry about points, so I'm going to go ahead and save it there. Alright. So what we're going to do, we're essentially going to fly all the way down into those water tiles, somehow. We're going to basically keep resetting this fight until we can. I'm going to wade out into the water, like an absolute champion, and then just going to sit there casting Poison Mist over and over. And, yeah, with any luck, this will actually somehow work out. So yeah. See how this goes. I'm probably going to go ahead and use... You know, I probably could have saved those points now that I think about it, because I have a card that lets me walk on water. Alright. And we've spawned in with 2 casters. That is already thrown a dent in the works. In fact, Rune Leggings might be the better option as far as armor goes. Alright. That's fine. Let's get a different team going here. I promise this is, like, resetting stuff like this is not going to become the norm. The situation that I'm in, I need to get one fight in on this dude. I need him to survive one fight, and that's it. So that he can get up to the proper level. And there we go. That'll get his resistance up, so he has a decent chance to not take abysmal damage from long-range casters and things like that. So if he can tank casters and everything else, as long as we don't have an archer or whatever else on there, if there's one octopus, I'm actually willing to put up with it. But yeah, otherwise, no. There's that river map off to the right. That's not really going to help us very much. There's the swamp map to the left. Again, not going to help us very much because there's a lot of flying casters on that one and the little ghosts and things. So not really something that we want to go for. Come on, Bordeaux. Spawn a fight for me. Come on. It's surprisingly difficult to ambush stuff in a lake. So yeah, I've been testing another run recently that I'm kind of thinking as the follow-up after this happens. So if you've never tried it, like, there's been a joke for the longest time, like, oh yeah, you have all these ones where recruit isn't allowed, why don't you do recruit only? And sure enough, we're gonna be trying that at some point anyway. Alright, yeah, no, we got an archer. Man, that first spawn was so good. It was so good. But we need that water. I love how I spent this entire run so far talking about never get weighed, never get weighed. Now I'm trying to cheese it. Cause yeah, there's really nothing nothing we're gonna be able to do direct fight-wise just because we can't heal. Like, that fight is generally pretty easy with almost any other class because you can just sit there and heal and counter damage and then you'll eventually win. With this guy, yeah, no, his lack of recovery options makes that a problem. Alright, that is just a mean joke. It's like, oh, you're coming for the water. Allow us to be a full octopus team. Welcome to Calamari Hell. Okay. So, we got a guy with the Valoran. It's funny because this thing used to be one of the super endgame items. Okay. So, yeah, that guy is strong as hell. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go here. And we're going to get equally strong. Let's go ahead and put up a plume. We're actually just going to go for corner tile for this one. I'm going to throw out some buffs at the very start and hope that I can parry him, functionally speaking here. Oh yeah, that's going to work out great. That's going to work out all well and nifty-like. Do these guys spawn in with boulders by chance? Yeah, we got one with boulders. next order of business, we're going to go right here, and we're going to give this guy a false strike. Which should give the opportunity to actually do some stuff here. In fact, rather than a false strike, he's going to hit me anyway. Because realistically, he's got 4 proficiency, right? No, he's got 3. Alright, so what we're going to want is a breach, actually. Because if I put a breach, I put a frighten. Why are there so many items? Okay, there we go. Chuck him a drink. Here you go. We're totally friendly, so give him one of those. He's gonna go take a swing. Yeah, parry is my only hope against that. Which, in this case, it's actually not terribly bad. But I need to walk away. I need to give him a nice little health steal. If y'all could stop critting, that'd be fantastic. And then, yeah, we're gonna go over here and just to kind of test this out. Well, that's disappointing. Okay, we basically need to get past all those defenses right here. So, we're going to do that. He's hopefully going to take one more swing, at which point we're going to be able to put out Lament of the Dead, and then put out a finisher. Thank you for the parry. Thank you for the crit. And then, yeah, a Lament of the Dead and a finisher should do him in. Hopefully after that, we can recover a little bit. Might have just enough to be able to recover. If Lament of the Dead doesn't hit, we're kind of screwed, though. Because, yeah, those points will be enough to be worthwhile, but if this doesn't kill him, well... Yeah, so this is... If this rolls high, then we're good. Otherwise, we're screwed. Alright, rolled 1 point shy. There's only one tile the casters can hit us from. The octopus can still hit us, though. Please parry this. Oh, no, he can't. He can't because it's a finisher. And there was a 50% chance that he'd be able to attack through stun. And he took it. The man simply took it. Alright. But that is workable. I feel like this build can work. Especially if we get a spawn like that, where it's not, you know, super amazing for them. I think this can be pulled off. So there we go. Same thing as before, back and forth, back and forth. The funny part is, it gets a lot easier after this. Like, it's these two fights now. Which is funny, because it's been like, this is the hard fight, this is the hard fight, this is the hard fight, over and over and over for quite a while now. But yeah, this was just miscounting on my end. This actually should have all been avoided, but unfortunately all the neutral characters got saved in that last fight, saving Lenner, so unfortunately that led to problems. Okay, so we got Warrior, Gryph, Beast. Yeah, corner strats should actually work pretty well here. Looks quite tricky. It can be, yeah. It definitely can be. So this is also pretty okay right now. We're going to want to go ahead and put a Fortify up. So, to kind of explain the mechanics here, Helios, normally your characters would be running a bunch of background buffs and stuff like that in the vanilla game. In this overhaul mod, most of those were actually removed. But the way that the damage works in this is you've got your kind of armor rating on everybody, and then the post-armor damage, which, like, for example, Fortify here, it doesn't do anything before the armor, but for the amount of damage that gets multiplied after the armor, then it ends up reducing that. And since these guys can get past my armor no problem, that's kind of what I'm stacking here. So, all right. Now, technically speaking, this is a point in the game where everything can be scaled up if you want it to be. There's essentially kind of like a New Game Plus mode you can trigger at any point, but enemies start coming in with gear that they shouldn't have. So like right here, this guy is using a bunch of friggin' endgame equipment, and I am way back at the very start of the game, functionally speaking. Like, technically it's Chapter 3 out of 4, but for the full run that we're going for here, we're going to be doing all of the chapters of Coda, which basically means I'm at about Chapter 3 out of 8, give or take. It's not exact, but, you know, it's close enough. Alright, so we'll go ahead and do a Drain Heart here. We'll do that. Get this back here. This will make sense in a moment, because all that those guys can do is Talon Dive. As they can Talon Dive, and they can use basic attacks. We can Health Suck, and we can AoE, and we can Poison. So, the Poison gives Weaken, which will lower the amount of potential damage that this can do by about 20%. Yeah, there we go. Let's give him a... Oh yeah, we can't give him another one. Dang it, MP! Okay, so we can stun him, though. That seems like a pretty worthwhile endeavor. So we stun him. That should give a 50% chance for him not to move. Which would be nice if it rolled at some point, but, you know, you do what you do. So now that thing is one swing away from being dead. I should point out that this character is not even slightly optimal right now. Okay, that'll give us just 18. Do Poison Mist on that one. That has a chance to weaken him, which should make his next attack survivable. So we'll go ahead and do that. This isn't perfect, but it'll do. And then we'll throw out Lament of the Dead just to lower that even more. So Lament of the Dead basically drops their stats by about 20% across the board. Thank you. And yeah, right now just covered in Gryphons. That's perfectly fine. And at this point, perfect. All right. So the thing with Gryphons is they are super fast. So what we want to do, like if I just finish him off, he's just dead. There's a 50% chance he's not doing anything, so we can just kind of sit here, pop some mend leaves, do a little bit of recovery. Once he goes down, I need to be able to parry one of the other ones that are coming in. I'm basically waiting to have a finisher on hand for that. Okay, crap. He got it through. But yeah, as you can see, Gryphons are faster than everything else. But, because he's going to do a basic attack next, there's a chance that we can parry it. Parry is basically a background stat here. Oh, okay, if you could stop, that'd be... Ah, jeez. Basically, it is a chance to do a physical save, more or less, against a... well, against a basic attack. So skills like that, like Talon Dive or Mighty Impact or whatever else they happen to have laying around, won't be doing it. But for any basic attack, it has a chance to just completely get rid of it. So to kind of show that off, all of these are ranking up as time goes on. They go from rank 1 to 8. So swords, these give 4% power, 3 base accuracy per level. This applies to augments and proficiencies here, so like a weapon proficiency. This aug, if it was higher, I'd be getting a decent bit of extra damage, but oh well. Despite the fact that it says 4%, it feels much higher. As far as parry goes, yeah, it's at about 10% chance to just avoid physical hits. But okay. So, I still think this is possible. Let's give this a couple more attempts. If it ends up being too much of a problem, I'm just going to start running Dragoon through Tynemouth or something like that. Something like the Dragoon or the White Knight or whatever else is just going to be a lot easier to level up because they have actual skills that don't, well, that actually work for this setting. I should also point out his look here is entirely just because of one of the utility things that the creator of this mod put out. So he's looking all pimply right now, but if we wanted to, we can have him look like something else. Let's see. Do we want him to look like a pirate? Do we want him to look... What do we want him to look like here? But rates dragoons and spears. Well, clearly. Oh yeah, what's Meat Boy Denim? I forgot about that. See, I've been messing around with these for a decent bit here. We'll see what he has as soon as he spawns in. Alright, so let's see if we can pull off this cheese. Because if I actually pull it off, then... Oh, right, this is not one I want to use, actually. Sorry. This one crashes the game if I use it. Hold on. Let's do... yeah, let's do Sweet Hat. There we go. There we go. So how's it been, Cerebro? It's been a hot minute. Oh, man, I'm invisible. Okay, that's my bad. This is why you don't mess with this stuff mid-fight. That's alright. It spawned in with a bunch of casters. Well, that ain't gonna fly. Yeah, this is like a hard counter to what I'm running here, for sure. The one cheese I'm trying to pull off is hiding in a lake and just throwing out poison. I'm basically trying to be a swamp monster. And then yeah, they're like, yeah, what if we all had ranged attacks, though? Because they had the archer spawn and they had 3 casters spawn. It's been good. Made some biggish updates to the FFT mod. I saw. I've been trying to keep an eye on that. Still planning to finish the monster run. I promise I haven't forgotten about that. Just looking for the moment, as it were. Just trying to finish one of these other ones. This one's gonna take forever and a day to finish up. We're literally doing like one battle per stream. Okay, so... Okay, he's just looking like a Fusilier this time. That's fine. Whatever. But okay. Oh, come on with your casters. Get out of here. Latest update increases the chance to go against Tier 3 monsters. Oh, well, that changes things a little bit. Makes it a bit more difficult. Now, out of curiosity, did any of these decide to be non-magic Cyclops? That one. Okay, so functionally speaking, they only have one caster. They've got 2 technical ranged units, but... man, what's the range on a boulder? I think it's like 4, isn't it? No, it's 3 to 6. Okay, no, they'd be able to outrange Poison Mist. See, I was watching the video yesterday, I was confused for a while because I thought it was the one-man game until I realized it was the regular solo playthrough. Yeah, admittedly, I probably shouldn't have done both of them side by side. But it seemed like a solid idea at the time. And actually, speaking of, to make it a little bit clearer, why don't we just put back Giant Dad Denim? There we go. Let's put that back on there. Looks better. Looks better. Okay. So, let's go back to Lake Bordeaux. Why did I put myself in this position? This is all Face's fault. She just decided that I can't have those XPs from the last fight. But yeah, the basic run, by the way, it's actually one video away from the main game being done, and then it's like probably 5 or 6 away from the run itself being done. Because yeah, that one was done months ago. It's just taking forever to edit. Like it absolutely friggin' takes like, I don't know, 2-3 days to fully get through the process for one of those. Meanwhile, one of these, it's just sit down and do it, and it's all good to go. I really should have just done that one live, but I wasn't expecting the hiatus to end at any point. Alright, so running 3 Octopi here, 1 Warrior. Oh, sweet hotness. There's literally only okay, maybe 3 that can do stuff. Alright, how can we cheese this a bit better? Because there's only 1 damage tile that they can use if I go over here. Well, I guess technically 2. Alright, this is about as perfect as it can get. So we'll get Spellcraft going, then we'll go ahead and pop MP up. I probably should have done these in the other way. But, oh well. Functionally speaking, if we can survive... Aqua Bubble can only be used every few turns. So they probably won't be using it very much. Getting a couple turns of setup. Resilience should help. Though I still think they're doing minimal damage when they're attacking. But since most of our damage is going to be coming from poison, we should be pretty okay here. Alright. Yeah, let's put... Actually, let's put Fortify up. We're going to put Fortify up, and then we're going to do Resilience. And we're going to have 1 more round. So let's go back here. Actually, I think there's 3 effective attack tiles that they can use. It's not perfect by any means, but it's a lot more survivable than it was before. Yeah, there we go. Alright. If we do Drain Heart, we can get rid of that entirely. There we go. Let some of them get close. There we go. Block and counter. Then once they start piling, we're gonna have to start throwing Poison Mist out there. I should have taken 1 tile back there. It's alright. So far, so okay. Can I move now? This is, again, one of the big weaknesses of this class. Right. That Poison Mist out there, doing a decent chunk of damage, actually. Alright, Poison then weakened. Lament of the Dead on it, reduces attack even further. I'm actually not expecting to use too many finishers for this, if it's possible. Because if they just keep doing this, then we can essentially just keep countering, health stealing, all that kind of thing. And yeah, if we set this upright, it should be possible to put it in such a way... Alright, if we do this and that... Or just go for this one, because that guy's got a bubble on him. Right, let's throw Element to the Dead. And then... that didn't do anything. And then let's go ahead and health steal that guy. So, using casts like this doesn't actually raise their TP any, so there's only one guy with a bubble right now. Still a 10% chance to just completely avoid this stuff. Alright, so there we go. He's down to basic attacks. He's only doing 15s now. It's WAP 2 that actually has some damage behind it. It's Aqua Bubble I'm worried about right now. That's fine, please move. If he had moved, that would have given access to a good tile there. 194. Okay. Let's put out Lament of the Dead, see if it actually hits this time. Oh my goodness. Are they fear immune? What's going on here? No, none of them have fear immunity. Yeah, Drain Heart's not really even worth it. If I go for this... that should put him within kill range for next time. Yeah, because they're just still going to keep attacking. Let's see, if I do Leaden, that'll do 10% damage, which doesn't really help too much here. Yeah, I might just do a basic heal. Problem is, I really need one of these Lament of the Deads to hit. Prevent me from moving! Oh no, how dare you? How rude. I need to move so much right now. Yeah, rolling a parry would certainly help too. I guess all things considered, this is probably still a fine situation. Yeah, you know what? Spellcraft isn't even really helping me much here. It's like giving me 5 extra damage, give or take. What I need to do is get that guy sorted out. See, because part of the problem is, if he starts attacking, there's not really too much I can do about it. Yeah, they do a little bit. Strengthen went away, though. Thunder Beast, though, would completely disable that guy. Yeah, that's probably the way to go for now. So we'll just shackle him. That should put him out of commission for about 3 to 5 turns. They're just going to keep meleeing, that's fine. As we're taking almost even exchanges. Nobody else seems terribly keen on attacking, which I'm fine with. Please parry. Oh, come on. Yeah, that's the problem with beast units. They are fast. And again, we are the slowest class in the game. But as you can see, it's definitely possible. It is definitely doable. A couple more things I actually need to go pick up at the store here, because if we're going to do heal strats, then we're going to sell these. And we are going to need some basic healing leaves. At least a decent chunk of them, in fact. There we go. Now again, the reason that I'm going for this fight is simply because it seems like the most practical way to go about it. As far as other fights go, the problem with Tynemouth and Gold Borza is that they will have archers very regularly. They're almost guaranteed to have archers, which is not something that I can deal with the equipment that I have on hand. When it comes to most of the other maps, they'll either have casters everywhere, they'll have archers everywhere. Something will be in the way. So, alternate strategy here seems to be that top left corner, seems to be the best option. Probably a bit more reliable than the corner, all things considered. Now, do we have any ranged units? No. Alright, perfect. So we're gonna go for this time. is something relatively similar, though now we know that we have an extra turn for setup. So we'll go ahead and use just magic leaves. Just magic leaves, and then we'll go for probably spell strike later, although I don't think we'll need it against anything but the Cyclops. But okay. And these things are gonna go forward, do their thing. We'll probably do drain MP on him. Yeah, that's trash. Alright. Maybe we won't do that. But we will do drain heart. You know what, I really might as well just back up and heal. No real sense in wasting MP on that. There we go. Honestly, it probably would have been better just to go for... Yeah, let's just go for the MP leaf. Because that's really not enough to worry about yet. Then we'll give him the old Sucky Suck next round. Get a bit more health out of him. Then we should be able to start poison spamming. This time actually doing it. If all goes well, it might be possible to only take one attack from each of those Gryphons. We'll see. We will see. Alright. So first off, Poison Mist. We're one round off from being able to do that. But either way, let's go ahead and throw it out there. Poison and Weakened. And what we want is we want to be saving up points here, then getting Lament of the Dead and Thunder Beast off. Thunder Beast will, as last time, just prevent them from doing anything for a little bit, which will be perfectly fine because it'll prevent them from using their dang spammy move, like this. Stop using your spammy move! But okay. Need to do a little bit of health stealing too. Give me a turn already. Yeah, this one might already be a checkmate. Yeah, it is. Alright. One more reset! One more reset, and then we'll go for another class, alright? Promise is the last attempt. As long as we get a good one. Because I have one more thing that I want to try altering here. In which we'll actually go for the Hoberk, or maybe we'll go for this. Yeah, I think we'll go for max avoidance. We haven't been getting stunned, so I feel like going for high Vit might be the option here. Yeah, it might be the best option. Alright. Actually, no, that's a regular ring. Never mind. That one's a better option. So, if you get the Band of Vigor, that's going to be a completely different story. Speaking of... Can't I make that now? Apparently I can't. Nope, I need the end of Chapter 3 to be able to make the Band of Vigor, which is essentially just 2 Rings of Vigor slapped together, as a band would be. Alright. So let's do this thing. So, got Cross and Shin Guards, yeah, that should be alright. Or actually we'll go for Helmet. There we go. Wait, why would I go for Helmet when I have armor? Yeah, let's just try maxing out Vit and kind of see how this goes. In fact, if I'm not going to be using the two-hander, I almost want to... Yeah, I forgot. No, they can't use shields. Never mind. Never mind. I'm almost tempted to just take the sword off entirely, though, just be a fast caster. But then the counters won't be worth it, so... You know, we'll see. We'll see. Alright, got Warrior Guy, got Gryphons. Dang speedy Griff boys. That guy should be the Beast Tamer. Alright. It's funny because the other approach here would... Wait, why am I going this way? We'll just take the route this way. Not take any movements. get into the water, go for a little bit of a swim. There's only that octopus there. Flappy Boy shouldn't be able to do very much. Alright, if I could have a turn now, that'd be great. It'd be nice to be able to move. Actually, I screwed up the movement on this one. I should have just run straight for the water. For some reason, I'm trying this whole tricky running around everywhere business. But if we go for a Drain Heart, that should put us back somewhat into the fight. So I'll use that a couple times. Hopefully survive. Hopefully they don't further back. Would have been okay with a crit there, because it would have pushed him back some. That's okay. Gotta worry about Aqua Bubble. But, again, we'll see how that all shakes out. He's just going there because he's going for the double turn. They're all getting double turns anyway, but, you know, he's trying to think. The funny part is that the AI will try to set up double turns whenever they can. There we go, finally the parry! Hello, parry. Okay. So, let's see, if we go here... There should only be one damageable tile, which, hang on, let's do a Drain Heart here. Yes, the odds of this succeeding are unbelievably low, but let's give it a shot anyway, right? Go ahead and take our position right over here. Pretty much gonna have to take the hit from the octopus, but there's a chance that we can dodge the finisher that's coming in. Well, oh, actually there might not be one coming in. Would have been nice to have a dodge there, but no such luck, and that's probably match right there. Dodging out of this is pretty unlikely. Especially with a slow on top of already being the slowest. We have become over slow. Alright, that's fine. In that case, it's time for White Knight strats. So the White Knight is kind of the thing that's been kept in the back pocket the whole time. It is basically the best class that we're going to get up until the Paladin for a lot of situations. Now, let me double check to make sure that it's actually the one that I want to use, though. So, because I need for them to be able to survive scaling up, and there's only a few classes that can do that. So the Swordmaster can kind of survive it. The Dragoon can kind of survive it, and the White Knight can. The Warrior... It depends. It's a low chance, but they kind of can sometimes. If we go for a Warrior, that means we, functionally speaking, should be able to build up our equipment a little bit, get something a little bit better. But yeah, if we go for White Knight, then we can survive scaling up. We can basically make it probably just running Time Mouth and things like that for quite a while. But if we go Dragoon, we can... well, either Dragoon or White Knight, we can get our augments running up early. I think what I'm going to do is probably run WK. Because Warrior is probably a close second here. The problem... Okay, to kind of go over what I'm thinking here. The Warrior's good, but it's lacking offensive buffs. Both the Dragoon and White Knight have active move buffs that they can put on, the White Knight having the best one in the game. And they can train Augs at the same time. So, you know, actually, screw it. We're just going to go White Knight. Now, we can only change in and out of it a few times, is the problem. So, later on in the game, we're going to need some low-level units to be able to get through Palace of the Dead, at least the very start of it. So we're kind of throwing some stuff out to the wind here, but, you know, we'll deal with it. So let's see what we can do here. Let's go leathers, go all of this. Because technically speaking, any class at that level should be fine. I'm not really sure why I went for a Terror Knight this whole time, because for some reason I just had it stuck in my head that this was going to be the way to go. Oh well. So, we get access to Augment Light now. Can probably get rid of Augment Air, to be honest. We'll get Field Elk. And we'll get Poison Ward. Actually, no, we'll get rid of Wade. There we go. So, the funny part is, you might be thinking at this point, like, oh yeah, you know, that's going to take forever to grind all the way up to that level. Not actually true. Funnily enough, when it's just your one character running stuff, you can actually fly up levels pretty fast. So this shouldn't really take that long. So there we go. Let's go ahead and get this going here. And the funny part is, up until the game starts scaling, you can't actually get certain things. All right. So worst case scenario, we only get Augs up. That's still perfectly acceptable. It's still a serviceable situation. Best case scenario, though, we can just get all the way up to level 29 and be good to go. So we'll see how it all shakes out. So the caster's got to be the first to go. Now, we still have a pretty massive advantage here. We're only a few levels higher than we were when we started the game, or a few stats higher than we were when we started the game, but we are getting roughly 40%, or, well, I guess technically speaking, like 32% extra power off all hits, meaning that we can kind of just squash everything. So as long as we can get a hit off, then we're probably going to win that fight. Not to mention melee is a lot more avoidable. Plus parry is avoidable, plus everything else. We can kind of overpower healers, is the other part of that. So as long as we get rid of the caster, we should be able to out-heal anything he can do here. Alright, there we go. Dead. Now, once we get Consecrate, this is gonna change in a big way. So Consecrate is, as far as I'm concerned, the best action move in the game. Basically, it is Strengthen, True Strike, and Instill Light in the same action. So, functionally speaking, that is a roughly 40% increase in power, 20% increase in accuracy, more or less. It's up for debate, but yeah, it's about that much. But yeah, anytime I use a finisher here, stuff just gets deleted, because these finishers are not meant to scale this high at this low of a level. Which is intentionally that way. It's like it's that nice little power trip you get from having an actually skilled character. So yeah, there we go. And yeah, levels matter a lot less in OV. I should point out the reason that we can't do that other fight terribly well right now, and the reason that we can fight the monster units but not the human units, is for that reason. Because their equipment is drastically better. Like, we're talking more than twice as good as what we have right now, because that's all of the, like, that's their final endgame stuff. That is as strong as they get. Meanwhile, we're over here with friggin', like, mid-game garbage. So, there's that. And again, you're not supposed to be even remotely that level. That's the only reason that this trick can work. And trying to get their equipment is why I'm doing this in the first place. So, yes, I could potentially just wait until endgame, you know, just get that equipment when you're supposed to, but it's not that particular equipment that I'm looking for. I've mentioned this before, but the stuff that I'm getting off of Divold is a means to an end. And that is, functionally speaking, how we're going to be able to make it through the end game. Because even with the stuff that we're going to get, we're going to be, like, on par. We're not going to be better than the AI. To actually have stuff that is stronger than the AI, we need the single strongest weapon in the game, which, yeah, or the single, I guess, base damage, highest base damage in the game. Highest base damage, highest scaling damage, like 50% bonus damage, which is higher than anything else, by a pretty wide margin. So, unfortunately, it's about 3 times as heavy, but whatever, we'll run naked if we gotta. Like, that thing hits like a truck. So yeah, everything we need is going to come from that one. On top of this, running the class this way, we're going to be able to get some extra little perks along the way. There we go. First fight done. No problem. These are just going to get harder and harder, but that's just how it goes. There we go. Up to 7. Ideally, I was hoping to save the White Knight for doing Farampa low level. But yeah, it's just not realistic. Because the problem is, you gotta be up to a certain point in the game to do that. Actually, that kind of throws another wrench in the works now, doesn't it? Because, yeah, the problem is, once you get to that point in the game, it's gonna... Ferrampa will always scale, to some degree. If it has the option to scale, it will. If it's a higher level than you, it's just a higher level than you. It can never be a lower level, up until you hit 50. So kind of what I'm thinking might be the optimal way to do this, might just be to go all the way up to 50. But that's only after we do the diebold drop. Can't believe they were have to reroute all this just because of one stupid mistake. Hang on. Let me double check one thing here. It's a strange happenings nest, and yeah, that's gonna be him. Alright, quick think. Okay, you know what? Let's do this. We're gonna go ahead and save over another save here. I'm gonna load this one again. I want to try something. See if it's possible to save those White Knight levels. Because there's... I'm trying to think if I'm remembering this wrong, but there's particularly one area here that it might be possible to pull some cheese on. Because if I recall Ray Bohm, I don't think the octopi can come in with water moves for some reason. I'm probably completely wrong on that. But if we can get a fight that is just melee units and hide in the water... in fact, even the casters are fine. Because if we take one of those areas off to the left there, and hide just in a place where they can't use their missile abilities, then we should be fine. Alright, let's look at this map. Because I'm thinking specifically it's down there. So if we go there, get knocked in and or jump in... what's our tile situation up here? Okay, that would be the way to go. There's several casters in the way. We're somewhat resistant to them, but they're still doing a lot. Alright, let's go for a swim. This is probably a terrible idea, but I just want to try it. Like, if there is that opportunity to skip a lot of BS, I'm going to try to do it. See, what I'm trying to do is force the casters to use only their AoE moves. The boulders have a decent chance of knockback if I... If I go to the right there, that's not going to work. If I go here, it might. So why don't we do a Drain Heart? Neat. Let's go here. If we can get them all to come in very slowly, deal with the octopi first. Get them all poisoned and weakened and whatever else. Then we get a poison and run away onto the casters. These guys shouldn't have any healing. And they shouldn't even think about healing. Great. You know, that tile off to the left might be an option, too. Because it looks like the casters are just running off. Alright, let's see if I can hit him with Paralytic. Not that it matters now, because they've basically just ruined this. But let's see if it works. Yeah, 100% chance, but it's only on one of them. If I go for a Cupid Belt, that'll reset them for a little bit, but they'll still get their turn. If I go for a Shackle... It gives a very small chance to be able to do something, with this particular attempt anyway. mean, they survived to another round, maybe. Or not. Okay, that's workable. That's workable. It's only 3. Yeah, it's only 3, and all the casters hang out there. But those casters don't have to be casters. There's actually a pretty solid chance for those casters to be other things. Alright, so first off, tanky build. Also, let's load that and make sure that that's the actual last load. Alright, there we are. Now then. So yeah, our evasion is not going to get high enough to make a difference, so what we need is Vit. So we'll do that, and then we'll head over to Rebum. I might be thinking Zaid more, which, like, I was thinking Zaid more as well, because it would be absolutely ideal if not for one stupid little factor. See, because Zaidmore only spawns zombies, and not even in terribly huge numbers either. So functionally speaking, it would be about 7 or 8 zombies. We have a weapon that does about 40% extra damage for zombies. Not to mention scales unusually high on top of that. The downside is that there's no way to exercise them. The TK has no exorcism moves whatsoever. So yeah, that wouldn't... Unfortunately, that would not work out. Wish it would, because that would make it a lot easier. I was actually planning to wrap that in at some point. In fact, probably going... Alright, if we could stop getting fights there... It's like, hey, are you sure you don't want this one? Yes, I'm sure. I'm very positive, in fact. So let's go for Rebum. Give it another go. Okay, there we go. 2 golems. Looks like a wizard and a warrior off on the other side. There only 1 squid boy to deal with. That's okay. Now, golems I can outrun and I can poison. TK is in as bad of a position as I am, quite frankly, and that means we only have 1 real issue to deal with here. And the funny part is, if one of them ends up dropping one of their relevant equipment pieces, then I probably don't even have to worry about a lot of stuff here. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're actually going to go take the path up this way. Actually, no, we're going to go this way first, to kind of lure them in this direction. Go for a leaf. Little Calamari's going to run up, he's going to throw his little rock. We're going to go up there, give him a health steal. Then follow that up with a poison, then follow that up with whatever else, just to kind of slow him down and just debuff him as much as possible while he slowly just chokes on the poison. Eventually, hopefully getting into the water and just avoiding everything entirely. Okay, yeah, that could have gone a little bit better. Alright. Alright, let's go for a health steal. While I spaz about everywhere. A little bit of a different approach here. This might already be ruined, but let's see what occurs. Okay. So if we go up north there might be an area where we can hide from that caster. Because I think that caster, it will always stay up there. Ooh, we can go for a double drain heart. Nice. In that case, our best approach would probably be to hop in the water right now. That would still keep us away from the caster. See, what I'm looking for is areas where where these guys can't hit me. But unfortunately, the golems might always be able to hit with Raven Eye if they have it. Or not Raven Eye, but Lariat. Okay, Granite Fist. And do you have a Granite Fist too? Yeah. Alright, so in that case, the best option is just to keep running. Right, that sucks. I swear, the AI just absolutely knows how to do their timing. It's like, oh, you're doing well. Well, allow me to get like 4 crits in a row. How does that feel? Like, well, that feels quite crappy, good sir. Why would you do such a thing? Like, oh, you know, it's just because we care. And there we go, dead. Dead. Rippin' dead. Yes, yes, yes. Game over, etc. Dang it, I've done this before. Technically speaking, we could just progress at this point and just curb stomp the rest of Chapter 3 with, like, the warrior or something. I'm tempted to just do that at this point. Because technically speaking, I could just keep grinding out, hell, even, like, the Bordeaux fight with the White Knight later on, and have an easier time of it. But I want to show off this trick, dang it. It feels so stupid that I didn't have a save before that Wait a minute. Didn't I? Hang on. Hang on. Do I have a mid-fight save? No. No, I have that one. Okay. Never mind. Because, yeah, I even looked through my quick saves and everything. Or my save states. So let's see, what do we got here? Because we got one where I was testing whether the fight would work. We got one here from the previous run. We got one here, also I'm pretty sure from the previous run, and... yeah, a couple of other test saves. Oh well. I just want to show off real quick why we're not doing Time Mouth. Just on the off chance that it decides to be ridiculously merciful. Now, there's one strategy, by the way, that I know would work. And I was super tempted to allow it, but... can't do it, can't do it. And that is... that's simply to allow one recruit. Because if I just essentially recruit a Terror Knight and then let him die, that would do the job as well. But, you know, no such thing here. So... Alright, here's what we're doing. I'm gonna go ahead and put up a dodge here. See if we can somehow outfight some lizard dudes. Like, technically we can outfight them, but we can't outdamage them. Not even kind of. And unfortunately, yeah, Archer guy will always approach here. None of them are set to have a completely defensive AI. If they did, this would be a lot more possible. And unfortunately, they also absolutely love to do that here. Because at this point in the game, the TK becomes near worthless as a caster. At least in a solo run, for exactly what you saw right there. In which they can't actually build up MP, because every time a claw hits them, they lose about 20. So yeah, the Mage Hunter claws are kind of a nuisance in the later game, because they also tend to have slightly higher attack. Which essentially means that the AI will look at them and decide, hey, this looks amazing, I want to auto-equip this, please. And then they do, and yeah. So we can outfight these guys all day, but eventually their healer will get here. And that is a bit of a problem. Alright. Okay, so we're going to continue retreating. And do a fighting retreat. I'm gonna get into this corner. Surprised that guy hasn't fired yet. He must be running a crossbow. There we go. Block. Hit. Man, that does no damage. Because this guy is doing literally nothing but the base damage in all circumstances right now. Thank you for your 25%, good sir. Like, the only things that can actually get through are finishers. To do any sort of damage. So, there we go. But unfortunately, at this point in the game, almost everybody's running a Worm Scale Helm, which basically means that, yeah, stun becomes a just non-factor. Like, we can put a Thunder Beast out there, that'll disable one of them, but it won't really solve our problems. Alright, what we can do is run this guy's accuracy and hope that that helps us out. Go ahead and throw that out there. Their healer is 2 turns away. So yeah, we're going to do the same corner strategy. Yes, their healer is going to eventually get here. We're just going to try to outfight some lizards. Since this actually seems to be about as good of a Time Mouth spawn as we could ever get. But yeah, we'll see. We will see. Alright. Nothing really worth wasting our points on yet. Like, Poison Mist would be the way to go here. Just because even though most of them would be able to resist a good chunk of it, it still would sort out their stats pretty well. Also, it should be noted that they'll waste a lot of their points on really big heals early on. So that might potentially give us some advantages as far as that goes. If we can get into a position where we can one-shot any of them, we can just basically drain heal up until that's possible. Like right here, best damage that we can possibly get, and not terribly amazing. Yeah. Less than inspiring is the thing. So we're going to go ahead and go back to the screen. Because those ones, once they have you in a corner, they actually won't move. Alright, and I will go back on what I said and go back to Lake Bordeaux. Because that was the most promising. Dang it! I want to do it this way. Alright. Put on the helmet there. So helmet will be a decent bit lighter, but yeah, it gets a little bit less defense. In a lot of cases, it'll just be the way to go. Alright, what are we looking at here? 2 octopi. Anybody running rocks? Okay, no rocks. So melee aside from bubbles. They both got bubbles. He's got anatomy, he's got magic. Okay, we've actually... This is not bad. This is workable. What I want to do is I want to go over here. Do the magic-y thing. And then throw a bunch of poisons out on the octopi when they get close. Once the octopi are gone, then we can get in the water. And then possibly... Yeah, this could work, actually. Now, a quick question. Would anybody object if when, like, let's say there's a really good spawn or something like that, that I just kind of went with that one and dropped a save before getting into the fight and just called it good there? It's like, I don't mind doing this stuff over and over, but I'm pretty sure it gets dreadful to watch after a while. Alright, so throw poison on that guy. The others will get close. You wouldn't need to go in the water if there were more bridges. Fair point. Also, good morning, Mr. Evan. How's it going? So, there you go. You can see, again, a decent amount of defense here. Oof. Man. Man, oh man, these guys. What about Drainheart? It'll give me some. Good, how are you doing? Currently trying to get this one level that I got denied last time. It's like that's literally all that's going on here right now. I'm trying to get past one random fight so that he goes up to level 29. Like, I know he's one Tynmouth fight away from 29. I really hope that that this lake gives as much experience. Because, man, if after doing all this, we wind up in a position where we don't even get what we're after in the first place, oof, that wouldn't be great. Alright, so this guy's only going to attack, so I might as well ruin his accuracy. But yeah, so that was the downside last time. And funnily enough, for the next fight, like whenever we actually do hit 29, we do have a pretty okay advantage going into that fight. The problem is we have to wait for Aurelius to go around exercising every single thing on the map. So it's still not going to be the most amazing thing ever, but whatever. Alright, so he's staggered, he's poisoned, he's weakened. Can we get another one of those going? we can get a decent chunk off. Might be able to poison that guy. Let's throw that out there. Good. Poison weakened, poison weakened. Everything's looking up in that regard. So while in this area, those octopi are actually completely worthless. They are literally only able to attack melee. Ooh, that's gonna suck. Okay. That's not good at all. But okay, we're still basically doing damage with poison, even if it's not amazing damage. If I can... Is that the casty guy? Alright, I don't really want to do it this way yet. But let's turn off the caster. And hope that the melee guy doesn't get a crit. Parry. Good. Good, 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 good. Alright. So now we just gotta spam a bunch of heals, and we should be alright, because that's only one source of damage, and he's slowly fading away. Alright. Out of curiosity, how much does Drain Heart give us here? Not enough. So now we just try to recover. Once this guy decides to move anywhere, we should have a better situation anyway. Parry, please. Ah, dang it. Because, yeah, I can't out-heal his damage, but I think I might be able to finish him. Come on. Nobody else can move. Yes. Okay, good. So I can finish him, which means that I can claim this tile, which means I can throw Element of the Dead, which means that next round I should be able to throw a health suck over on that octopus. Oh crap! Well, their caster's back in business. Please miss! Please miss! Please miss! Oh dang it! It was so close. But yeah, this is possible. This is winnable. Probably if I hadn't tried to finish that guy. It's unclear whether it still would have been okay. Because he probably would have been down to poison and one more counter. Alright. So what I'm going to do, if it's the spawn I'm looking for, I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of stick to that spawn. So that we're not trying to redo, like, hey, can we get a fight with no Gryphons over and over and over? Acceptable. Alright, not seeing any Gryphons. That might be an archer on the left, though. Alright. Assault Octopus, good. Warrior, good. Archer, yeah, we can die. No. Yeah, endgame archers are still pretty frickin' scary. Not as bad as vanilla, but still pretty scary. Like, their scary thing isn't their, like, hey, look, this guy's a longbow. He just did, like, 8,000 damage somehow. It's like, but it only goes up to 999. They found a way. No, instead of just insta-kill archers, they're just super accurate. That's the problem. They're going to be doing almost as much as melee characters, but they're going to be pretty much pinpointing that every single time. Deflect would be the main defense against it at this point, because their accuracy is really high. In fact, I'd argue that across the board, archers need their accuracy lowered, if anything. But yeah, even after their nerf, they're still, they're still big and strong. That looks like it's the archer again, and a griffin. Yeah, no, this fight ain't gonna happen. So yeah, scared of Gryphons just because they can attack so many times and so accurately. There's like it's just eating. Don't know, man. It's looking difficult. Believe me, it gets easier. It gets a lot easier. This is scaled up. This is a fight that the game's basically saying you're not supposed to win this. Like, this is meant to prevent you from power leveling early in the game. After you beat the game for the first time, everything scales up. So that's when the entire game started scaling everything. See, because the way that they did it, they wanted you to specifically only have certain equipment at certain points of the game. So up until you beat Hanging Gardens the first time, your story fights don't scale unless you hit a certain level. But then they will scale once you hit that level, and they'll kind of become all big and scary, which is what we're trying to trigger for that fight up in the top left. Your random fights will always scale, but the thing is, you can't necessarily get certain pieces of equipment your first time through without some extreme luck. So right now, one potential option might be to take this fight at, let's say I took it with a warrior now, which is closer to its 20s, right? I have equipment that's meant for a character at 10. I am fighting characters that are at 30. So yeah, that's kind of the problem there. It's an equipment shortage. With even if I had picked up that Espadon earlier, this would have already been a cakewalk. I only have one piece of equipment that I actually technically shouldn't have yet, which is the leg guards that I'm using, which is the only reason that this is possible in the first place. Because those will essentially reduce magic damage by a really solid chunk. They're the side grade for all the leg guards. So that's these shin guards right here. So yeah, 16 resistance is that's really, really high. That's the highest that I could possibly get at this point. Oh, come on, Gryphons! All right. As long as there's no archer, we're gonna try to wing this. No pun intended. Okay. No, there's the archer. Dang it, orc archer, come on! What is your deal? Stop spawning. This is why I said when we get a good spawn, I'm just gonna drop a quick save or drop a save state, because I don't wanna subject you to this. I don't mind doing this stuff, but I know it annoys the hell out of some folks, so... So, yeah. That's almost certainly got an archer in it. It's like the game heard, like, oh, you don't like my archer, how about 3? Wizard warrior, yeah, there's the archer. But it's so promising otherwise. And if you're wondering why I don't use the retreat function as often as I use the quit to front menu option, it's just because it saves the position of your cursor on load. So if you get all excited after winning a fight and then accidentally reload the save right before it, it's super annoying. So yeah, there's a lot of little things to this run. I promise we'll make progress at some point. But yeah, the numbers are definitely here for this to happen. As long as there's no archers. Okay, we got ranged attacker, we got Gryph. If we go in the water, we only have to worry about the ranged attacker for this one. So yeah, this is what the water setup was for. So he can cast, but he'll do next to nothing. The others are all melee. So if I go this way and just slowly sink into the waves, they shouldn't be able to reach me at all. So that'd be ideal. Come on, please. I don't mind if you crit this. Good job, sir. Thank you for critting real good. So now I need to run this way. Turn around to have that nice 2% chance of actually blocking something. And then, yeah, we're going to go straight into the water. Just kind of go hang out in there. And, yeah, then at that point, the only one that should be able to reach us is the dude guy over there with his casty nonsense. Which we should be able to drop a drain heart on that Gryph. Get a little bit of health back. There we go. And then we'll take this tile right back here, and then we'll go straight out into that little center triangle area. Okay. So that should mean that there's only one of their units that can even have a chance of hitting us. Because the Griffin is limited to 2-tile attacks. Everybody else, aside from maybe... No, Axe Guy shouldn't have his second finisher because they're at rank 3. So meaning they're all at 1-tile finishers. I say as he throws that out. What? How? How do you have that already? What in the crap, sir? You are an absolute dickhead. Okay. Please tell me I can use Fern Bolus. Okay, good. Man. How, though? Does he have attack too? How does he have a finisher already? Huh. Alright, apparently points have been flying up really fast this round. I'm not sure why. Okay, so we know 3 tiles is their effective range. That's good to know. But yeah, aside from that, we should be okay now. Because that's not something that he can throw out anytime soon. Now we just do Drain Heart to recover a little bit. Then we throw Poison on everybody, and sit back and laugh in our nice little waterhole. Oh no. Oh no, he was ready for this. He was very ready for this. They were completely ready for this. Oh, man. I'm an idiot. Alright. Good times, good times. Okay. Is there any fix to this, is the question. No and no. Because, yeah, I might be able to stun one of them. Alright. New plan. Nope. Okay, that strategy's not gonna work, so corner strategy's gonna be the main one to do it. Alright. Just give me my game over, who are we kidding? Give me my game over. Thank you. Alright, so we know corner strategy is the way to go then. I guess it stands to reason that they would have given them Wade. Those ones... Actually, no, Beast Tamers have that built in, I believe. So, yeah. So in that case, yeah, we'll go for the other option. This is when I go to the store and find out that the Espadon's been there for ages and I just never bought it. No, I wish. Alright. In that case, is there anything here new? Not really. Alright. Item-wise, what are we looking at here? Just make sure I'm not missing anything obvious. Weapon-wise, there wouldn't be anything new because we already it's a pretty straightforward process as far as that goes. Items he can't really use very much. Jory wouldn't have yet. Ways the Wild, not really something we'd be able to make much use of yet. That's fine. This is still doable. So I think first order of business, I probably should be going down to either the Boulder or the Zwei here, for no reason other than it'll reduce weight a little bit, make those turns come a little faster. So I'm gonna buy the Boulder if this fails. Yeah, faster turns seem like the way to go. So we'll do that. We're running pretty light otherwise. Up it a little bit. Let's see how this looks. But I think that might do it. Just a little bit of extra speed. Looks like they might have an archer. They definitely got a Gryph. And like I said, I'm probably just going to do a mid-fight save as soon as we get a non-Gryph fight. Just to just kind of have that in there. Because yeah, those octopi are completely... as many as can spawn, we're good. And there's why archers are scary. Because I can't do jack about that damage. And yeah, after they scale up, archers start getting their siege bows and things like that, which are, I believe, 2 or 3 extra tiles, so they can just snipe you from across the map pretty much. So there's that. Alright, 3,600. Sell some random stuff for that. Like these shields that I'm never going to use. Yep. Yeah, I gotta say, Boulder Blades were, or I guess Boulder Two-Handers, were really just kind of one of my awkward favorites in the original game. Like, just something about the fact that they had a weird heavy two-hander that was meant for casters. You know? I don't know. It's awkward, but it was kind of neat. It's not like it really did its job terribly well, as they were literally only for TKs, and they sucked at the one thing they were supposed to be kind of okay at, and... You know, it was a little bit odd. But still, though, I love the idea. I kind of wish they were a bit more useful, but it was neat while I was there. Like, it's funny because there were a lot of cases that you could kind of see where they were coming from, but they just never got the time to really finish testing it. They you could tell they put so much work into, like, oh man, this thing needs exactly 4 points to do what I think it's gonna do, and then, like, endgame, or even mid-game rolls around, and they're like, oh, wait, it didn't matter at all. Alright, let's see, we got Fighter Clops, 2 Octopi, and a Gryph. Gryphon! Stop spawning! Gryphon, why are you a dick? I promise this will make sense later. Boy, I hope you love the loading sounds. Alright. Looks like Tamer, Warrior, 2 Octopi, not seeing a Gryph. Oh, come on here. You know what? Actually, Archer might not be too bad. Is that a railbow or not? Because I think the Keen might be a railbow. Yeah, it is. Alright, so you know what? Actually, that's fine. Because the Archer literally cannot attack me over there. He can use his finisher, which... Yeah, that's super annoying, actually. Never mind. Yeah, they'd be able to use their finisher from quite a distance. They just wouldn't be able to fire normally. It's gonna feel so good once it's finally done. I can't believe that this is literally just because the last fight was slightly easier. Like, at any point during this run, I could have offed any of the random characters and we wouldn't have this problem. Ah, dang it. Minor optimizations causing massive hurdles, but that's, you know, that's the name of the game of this challenge. That's what we're doing here. This was expected. This is what I was saying from the very start. Expect some restarts. Because we're in for a bit of an adventure. And this is just the start, too. We haven't even gotten to the crazy stuff yet. Just you wait until we get into Coda. Oh, man. San Bronsa 15. I have zero idea how we're going to pull that off. Like, that is one of the most just plain stupid fights in the entire game as far as I'm concerned. There we go. We'll go ahead and save it real quick. We'll call this a decent setup anyway. Alright, so we got the Whop. That's not going to do very much. The Gryphon is the biggest threat here. Everything else we can kind of heal out of, so I'm gonna get poison off on him early, if it's possible. I don't think it will be, now that I'm looking at it. Alright, that's not great. Yeah, if the Gryph goes down, this is possible. Thankfully he's weak to casts. Parry, please. Crap. Oh, he's got a boulder. Maybe this is kind of a bad spawn, actually. Maybe it's a really bad spawn. I mean, we're still gonna try it, but this is looking pretty iffy. Right, and missed. Wait a minute, how did he do that? He shouldn't have been able to make that shot. It's strange. 'Cause yeah, that bush should have gotten hit. Yeah. Yeah, no, this is a no-go. I wish I would have thought of that whole save thing with that last, that one really good spawn. Hopefully we'll get that again. Because that was really about as good as it gets. Like, only one caster, and only one guy that's actually super overpowered. The beasts are actually pretty fair to fight against. Can we get that again, please? Please! Oh yeah, that's not gonna happen. Thank you, all the Gryphons in the universe. No thanks. I guess one more option is to find a tile that's kind of sticking out into the water, which there's one of. That would still mean that the Beastmasters can go there, though. Alright, if we get a fight with no Beastmasters, maybe. Basically, I'm thinking of that little tile that sticks out on the very bottom. If there's no Berserkers, no Beastmasters, that's doable. It's another tile that should be relatively safe. Alright, this might be it too. Double archers. Double archers, double boulders, yeah, no. I'm gonna kick myself in the face for not saving that that one spawn, man. Man, oh man. Oh. Hang on one quick sec. Kiddos are demanding more snacks. Be right back. Hello again. Alright. Alright, so how crap is this spawn looking? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. We need good spawn, please. And the little guy's just sitting over here in the background, just laughing. Like, oh man, look at this idiot. Trying to make this work over and over. Man, what a doofus. And, you know, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Certainly isn't the smartest approach. Like, I wish I had gone with my gut feeling a little while ago. Like, after that Crossbows fight. And just friggin' saved in a different slot. Because then at this point, we would have just gone back at this point. Just gone back, redone the fight, made sure all the randos didn't survive, and then we wouldn't be doing this. So, eh. Oh well, such is life. And I need to stop loading the save. I'm regretting saving that one. So many regrettings of savings. What can you do? What can you do? Probably not load that fight, for one. I'm gonna think of it. I wonder... Nah, there's no way to pull off Sanji. I was gonna say, if there's some way to, like, keep knocking down the casters, maybe, and... I don't know, somehow a finisher, just, like, do one big finisher on everybody else. But it's just... The TK is not fast enough to pull it off. This will work as soon as that Gryphon stops freaking spawning. Like, seriously, if the Gryphon spawns, it has to be the only one that can do a ranged attack or something. Like, the downside of the Gryphon is just, yeah, it can attack from 2 tiles away, so it can still attack from that corner tile. Not to mention, it can do so over and over and over and over and over, because they get their turn so frickin' fast. I'm gonna delete this save. In fact, you know what? Better option. Why don't I just drop a quick save on the world map here? Waiting for a Veil to appear on screen with his best evil laugh? Yeah, probably. I mean, he's gonna be by later. There, we'll just go ahead and drop a save stay right there. So that we're not doing that same load screen over and over. Because at this point I just want to speed this up. I already know what I want to get out of this fight. RNG's just being a dick right now. Dang it, RNGesus! Why are you doing this to us? But yeah, seriously, Gryphons are, like, the scariest thing for a solo run in this. Like, they were scary in vanilla with how fast they moved, but man, in OV, they're just like... they're just repeatedly coming in like, peck, 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 peck. I'm sorry, are you alive yet? Peck, 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 peck. Friggin' brutal, man. I don't think that. You think the chickens in FFT were just because they didn't want to use the Gryphons again? Do you think they were the OG Chocobos, as it were? Is it the spawn? Nope. There's a Gryphon. I swear, I'm gonna make the thumbnail to this video just like the friggin' The Shining with a Gryphon head peeking out. Here's Gryphon. I'd legit take an archer over a Gryphon right now. And there's another one. Now, I believe the way that it rolls for maps and other stuff in this is it's based on ticks. Ooh, this might be the one. Okay, it's not a triple. I want to say triple puss, you know, octopus, but that just sounds messed up. And we got an archer. Archer and a wizard, weirdly enough. But he's... no, he's running a rude bow. He'd have shots, but... I mean... maybe. Archer's way on the other side here. All things considered, I could rush the Archer. And what's your deal? He's a water guy. But he came with summons. Yeah, no, that'll just ruin me here. Alright. Unfortunate reload. Also, there's speed mode. This could be it. Alright, Wizard, Octopus, Cyclops, no. Stop having ranged attacks! And yeah, I found out why sometimes it goes into fast mode here. Turns out I actually had one of the speed toggles on one of my triggers and never noticed. Because apparently if you hit it twice, it does nothing, but if you hit it the third time, it does it. So, Evan, I don't know if you're in Vale's a book, like, little author... what's that thing called? It's a Slack thing? But okay, it's just funny because I just saw one of his messages come in from yesterday, and in which I was saying that with the Blue Eyes books that were coming out, that it's amazing that nobody's gone and made a friggin' Blue Eyes White Griffin card. And yeah, long story short, apparently they put a little picture of it that I just got the notification for on my phone. It's like this little griffin holding a copy of the book as they're sitting here repeatedly murdering this run in the nuts. Which, again, it's entirely me screwing up that caused this to happen. Because if I didn't... with that last fight, if it wasn't for the obvious here, we wouldn't be having this issue. Alright. Got a melee, got a melee. Got an archer. Archer! Dang it. Picked up his book on Amazon, I've never used Slack. Okay. He has a thing with, like, updates and all the series and stuff. Gryphons! See, now, if one of these Gryphons was, like, surfing on turtle, that'd be a different story. But no. Come to think of it, that's technically almost a thing you can accomplish in this. Because I think beast units can climb other beast units. Anyway, let's see. Wizard, Warrior, Griffin, Octo. Still same issue. See, the problem with the archers is, again, their consistency, accuracy, all that. If it's just one boulder, I'm willing to deal with it if it's not next to a griffin. The reason I was mentioning ticks earlier, as far as how the game calculates it, if I just saved, for example, right when they were walking into Bordeaux, it would always spawn the same fight. That's why I haven't done that yet. Right, this is looking like an archer fight. You know what? This is doable. All right. Let's go ahead and save state it. Let's go ahead and save right there. Alright. Then we'll just go ahead and leave it and fast forward for the time being, if you guys don't mind. So we can get this done. You, sir, are rude. Give me your HPs. Thank you. Perfect. I didn't mean to hit myself with that. That's the downside of speed mode. Okay, this is not ideal. Oh. What's up, kiddo? Oh. Okay, no problem. Hold on, one quick sec. Daughter needs something. Alright, and back. So yeah, this one, pretty well iffy. Let's go ahead and restart that one real quick. So, alright, what problems did we run into here? Crits, casters, heavy hitters. I believe almost all of them can go in the water. What can we do about this? I think if we took the tile here, went for something, well, go for the same charge up here. There's actually one skill I'll be picking up later to make better use of the environment. Specifically, once we get to Farampa, Squash becomes very useful. There we go. Ruin them a little bit. Not very much, but, you know, at least somewhat. He can only do that move once, so I'm not too concerned. Parry there would have really helped a lot, but no such luck. Kind of speed chessing it for now. This is definitely not the ideal then. Want as many beast units as possible. Alright, let's go back to spawning fights. But anyway, what do you mean you only play in FF anymore? You only play FF games? You only play in 4x4, whatever that would mean? I don't know. What do you mean by that? It's looking a little better. Minus what looks like an archer. Now we got chases. Yeah, everyone came in with a boulder. I believe what decides whether or not they spawn with a boulder or whatever else is whether they're dex or strength focused. Dex will usually go for the boulders because they're technically a dex weapon, whereas strength ones will prefer to do melees. Alright, what do we get this time? Nope. Come on, RNG, gave me that one really good spawn. I was trying not to do this cheesy crap. And there's another Gryphon! Fear the Gryphons! Oh, fast forward? Yeah, understandable. I usually prefer playing at normal speed, but in this case I just want to, you know, I want to get this fight over with. It's not a terribly interesting fight. Yes, it's a fight that should technically be impossible, but it's just, you know, it's a 5v1. It's nothing too mind-blowing. Like, Reason Way always comes out as pretty interesting. It's like, oh, you know, it's friggin' 21 versus 1. It sounds impressive. 5v1, where most of them are friggin' seafood, just isn't really the sexiest sounding thing ever. Especially when you describe the entire thing as running away from birds, because the birds are too scary. So, you know, that's always fun. Though, to be fair, a friggin' Gryphon would probably be horrific in real life. Like, just all the scariness of a mountain lion that can fly. Like, no thanks. Just walking through the woods one day, half the camping group just gets ripped out of the sky. Or ripped into the sky. Yeah, I was about to save it real quick, because it looked like it was the right spawn until suddenly there's a little shy to a Gryphon over there. So yeah, for anyone that's here now that wasn't here for the earlier bit, there's a spawn with 3 octopi and 2 cyclops. And that was basically the ideal for this fight, because it was all monster units. All of the human units are completely scaled up. Basically, for the monster units, I can fight them a lot easier. With human ones, I have to rely on parry. The problem is I can't train parry very well right now. Because, effectively speaking, other than waiting for it to proc, I can't really up my odds of it happening any, because I'm literally 1 or 2 fights away from getting the Boulder Helm unlocked, which allows for upping those odds by about 5%, at which point, surprisingly, that little 5% difference will essentially shoot those odds up like crazy. On top of that, we're running into a situation here where just running into units so we can't deal with under these circumstances. Once... The entire point of this right now is to avoid running into this in the future. But yeah, what do we got here? Boulder. No. No. Because yeah, we lack armor to be able to deal with this endgame stuff. Oh, crap. Well, let's show off how quickly this goes south. Let's not, because it's just, we already did that. Anyway. So yeah, again, the point of this is to be able to deal with this. Once we struggle it out, it will no longer be an issue, and yeah, scarier than the mountain lion for sure. Suzemabochi! Your bow is hard to pronounce, sir. Very hard to pronounce. Alright. Because yeah, the armor that we get off of Diebold will allow us to be able to survive this. The two-hander will allow us to be able to do comparable damage. And at that point, we can just go back to the regular strats that have already worked. So yeah. Come on. I had a weird feeling the people were talking about me. Did something with Gryphons happen? We've been running away from Gryphons for the last, like, hour. Basically, I'm in a position here where I need to win 1 fight versus about 5 units in order to have this run be back on track, basically. Because there was a mistake that I had made in the routing for this, or rather in the prep last time, in which there was 1 unit alive that shouldn't have been, which caused a situation where I'm 1 level too short to be able to actually get 3 pieces of equipment that I need from one of the fights coming up here. All that explanation out of the way, the easiest fight is right here, which is a 1v5, which has about, I'd say 20% chance of any unit in here being a Gryphon, which I cannot fight. I've repeatedly been trying different approaches for the last couple hours here, and the best one is literally fighting Octopi and Cyclops at the same time, and yeah. Oh, it's the one! It's the one! It would be the one if they had the right gear. Okay, never mind. It almost was the one. Let's see. Think of the worst thing that a Gryphon can do and it's happening? Yeah, pretty much that. Running away from Gryphons you cannot fight was actually the elevator pitch for Starling. It's basically that. I literally can't do anything against them because I'm stuck in an awkward position where I'm using the single slowest class in the game. Gryphons are the single fastest unit in the game. On top of that, they have almost no equipment, so they basically get 2 to 3 turns in the time that I get to move once. There's one tile that I can fight from, which is right here, in which I can fight the entire map. Let's see. I need everybody to spawn in with melee stuff so that I only have to fight one of them at a time, and or maybe a caster, right? So it's this interesting setup where I had a perfect one before, but I was trying to do that whole thing like, oh, no, I gotta do it all just right. I can't use any saves to make this faster. We gotta do it right the first time, you know? Gotta make it clean, and then I've been regretting it ever since, because it's literally the only way forward here. Because if I decide to go on with the story, eventually we'll hit scaling. Eventually we'll hit the entire game scaling up. Which you'd think would mean, like, oh yeah, now that equipment's gonna be everywhere, but the entire game becomes like this, and there's almost no fights that actually have what I need. Okay, we got a caster. This might work. Let me go ahead and save this one. Yeah, let's go ahead and lock this one in. And give it a go. Because I literally cannot move fast enough to fight more than one Gryphon. If I can beat it, then we might have a chance here. It has to be the one that that approaches first, though. Yeah, no, they're gonna get there first. Unless I get a... I need to roll 2 parries to pull this off right now. Alright, that's already no. There's one of the parries. Alright, now I need to roll 1 more parry. I'm out of range, though. Alright. I need to roll 1 parry and survive... Okay, you know what? This is actually possible now. It is no longer possible now. Okay, back to this. It's close, but that Gryphon's gonna be the problem. Now, I might be saying, hey, but it's only doing 50. Yeah, but it's gonna be doing like 3 50s. That's the problem. Man. I can't believe I've screwed myself in such a way here. But yeah, so it's like I was saying, I could continue on here, and then we'd eventually finish neutral. I'm pretty sure without the equipment trick, we'd be able to survive past neutral. Then we'd have to do law to be able to continue the actual run. And yeah, the thing is, we'd be lacking a couple critical pieces. Because, again, we'd need the Dragon Slayer, or we'd need the Runeblade, or we'd need the Gilgamesh. So those are the pile of those 3 are needed to get into Palace of the Dead, functionally speaking, and also to be able to survive in the post-scaling game, as it were, because it's the one time that we start getting an actual advantage. So yeah, a lot more hinges on this one stupid bullcrap situation than initially seems. And yes, I have been tempted to just put in a code that said, hey, look, we're at 29 now, that mistake didn't happen, but we gotta do this right, dang it. Gotta do it right. Anyway, explanation done. The entire several hundred-hour run hinges on this one stupid fight, is what I'm trying to get at. That cannot be any more wrong. Gryphons! This is what I mean. Like, I was gonna make the thumbnail to this thing just like a griffin doing The Shining, basically. Because we've literally just spent this entire time running away from griffins. Because I can't fight the dang things, because they're too fast. Because, like, they get a peck off, and suddenly they can follow it up. Like, they get their 50 off, they can follow it up with 100. They get their, they get their 100 off, they're almost charged up for another one. And it's just not something that's possible to heal through for this guy. The White Knight, sure. Literally any of the other classes would be able to pull this off right now. The Terror Knight is unique in its ability to need support. It is the absolute tank. Like, except it's more like one of those busted up old Soviet tanks, so it's like, its defense isn't the best, it's kind of obsolete, but it's still got a pretty decent punch to it, and, you know, under the right circumstances, it's pretty awesome, but, yeah, it's not super ideal here. Alright, come on, give me the fight I need. I know it exists, because we fought it before. And to reiterate for the 500th time, I'm looking for no archers, looking for low to no boulder items, though I would be okay with 1 or 2, and no griffins. Everything else is workable. We're really earning that Miracle Worker title. And then once we get into the next fight, we'll be in a position where the bonus damage off the Boulder Blade will allow us to circle around the side, at which point we basically just play second fiddle to Diebold as he completely carves through everything. And yeah, we just gotta keep him alive until we get to the end of the fight, and hope that all works out then. When he's on the Gryphons, definitely in the pocket of the big Griffin industry. Yeah, understandable. They've got their talons on everything. Not actually that frustrated. This is exactly what I expected going into this run. I've said it once, I'll say it 100 more times. This is exactly what I expected to happen from this run. No. Get out of here, crossbow. Like, especially crossbows are kind of annoying. Because yes, they may not be able to fire a large chunk of the time, but then that means you have to constantly check for whether or not they're going to get their brimstone hail. And yes, I'm technically immune to stun, but it's also damage I can't avoid. So yeah, all the Gryphons. The funny part is, Gryphons aren't even that common of a spawn normally for this map. Nor are they usually threatening. Like, if this was on even ground, if I had equipment up to this scale, it would be just fine. This would be long over with. And that's exactly what I hope to accomplish with this one right here. But alas. This could be workable. You know what? Actually, yeah, this could be... It's worth a try. This is revenge for you not finishing all the Griffin run? Yeah, I will. Which, by the way, I'll be doing that on, I'll probably be doing that on Vanilla, too. Because technically speaking, OV isn't finished in that regard yet. What do we want to do here? Dodge. Do dodge. And yeah, if all goes well, the Griffin will get here first. We can stun him. So let's put a strengthen on. Here's what I'm hoping for. Griffin shows up, he does his pecs, gets a counter. Then... Oh, he might not get there first. Yeah, he did. Okay. He got a stagger. Now we do a stun. Actually, no. Try this first. Why can I not do that? Okay, whatever. That's fine. Give him the weaken. Just gonna go do that. Alright. Would've been real nice if that stun actually hit. Alright, should have a regular thing, so we should be able to survive this round. Okay, good. We can finish him off, but that doesn't do as much good. Out of curiosity. Okay, I don't get how they pulled off that shot that one time, because that should not be a possible shot. Alright, if we do a paralytic wave on you, and then they both roll for stun, or that. Ah, that would have been possible. If they both rolled their stun, then it would have been possible. Alright. Do it again. What I should do is stun every single one of them. Because, yeah, if they're all stunned, that puts us in a bit of a better position here. This guy can't be, because he's got, well, he's got his helmet on. He can't be stunned. Every part of this has gone wrong. Yeah, no, that Rocktopus is turning out to be a bit more of a problem than I thought. Dang Rocktopus. Alright, another potential option here is these. Just going all in for luck. It didn't work. We're not lucky at all. Emulator? I hit the quick save button and my emulator exploded. Figures. It could not handle the amount of Gryphons. The OB64 team looked at the octopus enemy and said, wow, those things can be way too overpowered if they're in water. Then they gave us the Sphinx. What were they thinking with the Sphinx? Man, that still kind of boggles the mind as far as balancing goes. Then again, I guess it feels like a lot of the series just never really got a second pass for balancing. To be honest. Like, other than KOL, maybe. Because, like, the very original, the first, probably the first third of the game was super rough, especially for new folks. For the PSP remake, it's, like, most of the endgame stuff is super imbalanced. For OB64, it's mostly stuff on the fringes, I guess. It's, like, the extra features that are bizarrely imbalanced. The double Sphinx flying unit in the hidden level was the first time an enemy one-shot my entire army in the first turn when they combined. Like, I mean, I guess it's somewhat realistic that stuff would just be able to show up and wreck you out of nowhere. That's Wars in a nutshell, but, man. I mean, I guess on the hidden level, sure. I'm still a little bit weirded out that with how overpowered Steve was, that he still got completely one-rounded by a random Sphinx. I mean, it's just sneaky how they did that, too. They're just like, oh yeah, this one little Sphinx is just hiding here in a mob of absolute trash. Just pushes all these other grunts aside, like, stand aside, I got this, as he just pulls out his rocket launcher. It's just basically a rocket launcher attached to a random statue. It's not even a real unit. He's not a real boy. If you're wondering why I went for the gloves, by the way, in this guy, 20 luck is pretty significant. Basically, it ups crit rate, but it also ups parry odds pretty decently. This one might be a maybe. Is that a melee Cyclops by chance? Now we've got an archer. Ah, dang it. Dang it. Oh, by the way, Mr. Vale, have you tried out Hammerfall yet? The OB64 rebalance mod? I think I sent you a link to the Discord to that, right? Because while I'm pretty sure it breaks some rules, I mean, they do just post the ROM right there. You don't really have to do anything with it. Have it? Playing a bit of Man with free time? Yeah, this okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. They definitely made soldiers, at the very least, a lot more useful. It's like, at the moment when I had a team that was a witch and several soldiers and Amazons that actually was functional past the first couple levels, I was like, yeah, you know what, they did an okay job here. Playing Mana 2, playing Mana 3 while you're playing Mana 4. I thought I was playing Mana 1! I don't know. It's confusing. They just refuse to let anybody know what the actual order is of their games. Oh, wrong fight. I'd really like to make at least some progress this round. Come on. Come on! Okay, this looks promising. It is not promising. Yes, I know. Feel free to throw out any insults for not saving that one fight that almost got won. This, again, though, is, like, as rough as it gets. Despite the fact that the game will, like, the game itself will pull out more tricks later on, as far as messing around with stupid leveling mechanics and things like that, this is mostly as far as it goes. The rest, once we do that fight, the rest of this should be a curb stomp. They all turned up with friggin' boulders! Dang it, why did we beg for throwing boulders to be in the game? Why didn't I do this challenge several patches ago before the throwing boulders? Seeing Stiff win our hearts and minds across 3 of the 4 Ogre games just for his fairy army to be beaten by a chicken was epic. It's fitting. It's bizarrely fitting. The fairy got eaten by the chicken. Though I think there was something like that in some mythology or something, like nothing could beat... No, I think it was some Polynesian thing, like technically nothing was allowed to ever beat a crab or something. Some random animal. And I think something had that for doves. Jump around the map like crazy. Come on, spawn me that fight. Spawn me a fight without Gryphons, please. Only pigs can defeat a salamander. There we go, that was it. That was the one. Because that makes any sense whatsoever. You know there must have been a story behind that. Well, there was a... I forget what culture it was technically, but it was... I think it was spread amongst a few African tribes there. Which there was a story of some, like, giant lizard snake monstrosity that lived in a cave somewhere. And, like, oh, every time the wind would howl, this thing would just show up and just randomly eat people. And then all the tribes got together at once and they stabbed this thing real good. And, you know, you still hear it howling every now and then. Because it died, but it's gasping forever. It's like, that is a really weird story to explain the fact that you guys have wind, but whatever. See, Alexander the Great probably tried to do an all-salamander run of OB64 just was run to be cut short by an OB64 pig. What did they even... I'm trying to think what a pig from OB64 would even be like. Like, I think the closest thing must be the pug. The hell pug? Oh my goodness, stop spawning with boulders! It's not that common! Then again, endgame is still being balanced out, so meh. Yeah, Mr. Vale, you weren't here for the golden spawn. They all came in with just melee. It was beautiful. And it was all slow units. And I was the dumbest. Hang on, wait a minute. So, if you get defeated by a pig, does that mean you just sort of get a weird heart attack thing and it's unclear whether you actually died hundreds of years later? Because I think the weirdest thing I heard about Alexander the Great was that there was a theory that he actually, was still alive, just in a weird coma. Hey, what's going on, guys? What are we fighting over? Hey, you each have a chair, it's fine. Hey, you're just fine. You're just fine. It's funny, they're both right here deciding who gets what chair. I know, it's my chair. But she doesn't want to use his chair. Alright, how's this looking? Abysmal. Apparently didn't do the weekly Arm Jesus tithe. Sounds like the premise for the Bubba Hotep sequel. There's not the one where Elvis and JFK in an old folks' home fight mummies. What? What? That sounds amazing. Didn't Alexander get poisoned? That was one of the theories. Like, there were theories that he got poisoned. There were theories that he just randomly had cardiac arrest or some crap. Like, there was another theory that he just kind of had a brain aneurysm and just got paralyzed, and they just buried him alive. See, I don't know. It's one of those... It was like the original JFK. There we go. While we're on that subject. Okay, wait a minute. We got 3 Cyclops. Come now. Come now. You've got like a 25% chance to come in with a boulder and every single one of you have one. Like, technically speaking, I guess, they would be really slow. Like, a Cyclops would be the best unit to have one. Maybe that was the one to actually pursue, but... Dang it. No attack is better than crappy attack. That's my understanding from having seen epic rap battles of history. Have they been doing any new ones lately? Like, I heard they just kind of shied away from the public eye after 2016 or so. But I haven't really kept up with it, to be honest. Sorry, I needed some water. Alright. Oh, sweet goodness. Come on, game. You cannot be this mean. What are you doing? You have melee enemies. I know this for a fact. Mother Teresa versus Sigmund Freud. Yeah, I watched a good chunk of them. It was, what was it? It's one of the older ones. Wait, Zuckerberg versus Zoidberg? That sounds like it would be amazing, though. Why did I take on this challenge again? I must be an idiot or something. Alright. Stephen King versus Edgar Allan Poe. I think that was the one. That might have been the one. Yeah, I think it was the one for the 2016 election that made it kind of cringy in my head for a while, though. It's like it's weird thinking back on that. There was so much "oh, we got to be fair to everybody" thing, and then in retrospect, there was so little fairness deserved. But oh well. It's like Lord of the Rings. What, running away from every fight over and over until you finally don't have Gryphons? I mean, I don't remember that part, but I guess it seems as plausible as anything else. Come on! We've had several decent spawns, and it's just not given me one. Now that I finally agreed to start saving, it's like the game knows. Why don't you take the Gryphons to the POTD? Because reasons. But yeah, basically what this boils down to is whose offense can I disable, right? Because when it comes to Gryphons, like, the thing is, I can't do anything about them. Hey, what are you doing? You can just move. You're not tied to that part of the couch, you know. Little man walks by, she's like, no, 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 I can't possibly move. It's too much. See, this would be the perfect spawn. This is the one that came that last time. But that time, all these guys had assaults instead of boulders. But anyway, no. Yeah, as far as flying to the Palace of the Dead, it's not getting there that's the problem. It's getting to the bottom of it that's the problem. Let's see, according to the artist who did the eagle for the movies, they said the same eagle to make the CGI Gryphons in the Narnia movies. Nice. Never knew that. Hang on, so how much overlap was there between those teams? Hey, guys, are we fighting or are we laughing? What are we doing here? Apparently we can't decide whether we're angry or really happy. But yeah, this literally just comes down to whoever can be disabled. Which, yeah, that one was the only one so far that was completely disableable. There were a few others that were close. It's like, if I can have a spawn with a few turns where nothing happens, then... I'm actually kind of starting to wonder if it's the equipment used, because it seems like they keep spawning in with stuff that would be very effective against low armor, which is what I'm running. So what if I... Hey, guys! What are we doing? Hang on, just a sec. Let me see what's going on here. Okay, yeah, we're all good here. So, let's try this. So I'm starting to think that, yeah, it might just be that they're spawning specifically with boulders to deal with that. Hang on. Daughter is being sassy. Alright, so let's see. Let's see, they rehabilitated a golden eagle who later passed away and was taxidermied. So the Weta Creature Workshop brought him and his eagle in for Lord of the Rings, huh? But they kept the scanned CGI version of the eagle, so when they were hired to do a Narnia later, they used it as a base. Oh, gotcha, okay. So you can check the right wing for the damaged feather. Huh. I had no idea that's how they did it. That's neat. About to give all these ones friggin' damaged feathers, man! Stop spawning Gryphons! And boulders. Like, it's supposed to be random spawn, so I don't think that boulder thing I was talking about makes sense. So, the way that spawning works in this is essentially there's just a pool of units. Their skills and their location on the map are a set thing, as well as their tendency and their AI. So their tendency is basically like when you go into this, if you go to your auto-equip, it basically gives you all these ones, like to maximize any one particular thing, and usually it's going to be to, like maximize one of these. It's funny that, well, all of them say that they don't equip jewelry. Jewelry has to be force-equipped for some bizarre reason. But yeah, the funny part is that they have one that says maximize healing. There's no stat that actually boosts healing, so I'm not really sure how you're supposed to do that. I think that one is boost speed, functionally speaking. Because, yeah, mind is the one thing that the clerics get stat-wise that's supposed to be, better than everybody else. But yeah, it's an odd one that they have that there. I think originally healing was supposed to scale, but it probably was just overpowered. The way that I understand it, they probably wanted to get more utility out of the crafting system, force it to be a little bit more tedious, limit healing a little bit more. Because yeah, as soon as healing starts scaling up like it does in OV, it does tend to eventually overtake items, and it seems like in most Matsuno things, items eventually overtake healers. Kind of like the usual passage of technology taking over herbal stuff and whatever else. And one sec. Sorry about that. My daughter decided that she needed to pick on my son there. They do that sometimes. Like that's the thing with brothers and sisters. They, man, they love picking on each other. Like, he will literally just go up, just specifically do things to drive her nuts. Like, specifically he finds her favorite toy and just, like, runs around wagging it in her face. And he's not even 2 yet. Yet he knows. He knows. It's, like, more important than words, more important than anything else. Like, let's figure out the strategy for driving sissy nuts. What you doing? No, you're not wearing your fancy dress right now. No. Not right now, okay? Gotta save that for Christmas, okay? Okay? Okay, good talk. Whew. That guy needs a change, though. Hang on. Oh, son just dropped a stinker over here. One sec. Okie dokie. Hello everyone again. Or, hello again everyone. So, let's see. Let's see, bonus fact, Narnia books don't have Gryphons in them, but the movie director loved the Black Gryphon, so he added them in the first two movies as an homage. Huh, cool. Surprised there were no Gryphons since they have ties to Christianity, even if it would have been a subtle reference since I know they were purged. Yeah, a lot of stuff was weirdly purged, but Gryphons are friggin' awesome. I don't know why they would have gotten rid of them. I guess just because of the claws. Then again, it's kind of funny because at one point gargoyles were like considered protectors of France and whatever else, and then over time it just became this demonic thing. So, who knows? History's weird like that. It's actually funny. The other day I went to this museum with family, and they had Christmas trees and traditions from all over the world, and they had this one that was like a Renaissance era Christmas tree. And it was the most pretentious friggin' thing. It was literally just sticks with tiny ornaments that you stuck fruit into. It's like, what a complete waste of time and resources, you know? It's like, it looks worse than a just normal tree. And literally all they're doing is just sticking little raspberries and crap in, instead of a little Christmas ornament. Like, oh look, I made a little cornucopia. This thing is gonna rot and smell bad in like a day. You're welcome. Man, I'm sure glad I wasted money on this. Somebody spent like 3 weeks putting this together. Alright. Let's see. There weren't any dragons in Narnia either. Have to reread them now. I know centaurs played a large role, as well as dwarves, maybe minotaurs. Not sure if that was a movie or not. I always mix up Narnia and that one Alice in Wonderland with Depp in it. I don't know why, but for some reason the two would just constantly cross over in my head. Alright, this would be possible if they spawned in melee. Let's see. So you'd think Book 3 for Narnia has the dragon, but it's a heavy metaphor for greed. The cousin becomes the one stealing gold from an island. Huh. Oh, my sweet goodness. Why will you not spawn with the right equipment? Alright. Alright. We'll try it that way. And they once again refuse to have assault tokens. Come on now. You basically always have assault tokens. I think literally the odds are like 1 in 4 that they're gonna have a ranged assault token. Or that they're gonna have a boulder token. Alright. Let's see, it's really weird about having, or hearing what fiction made money back then. Because you hear what publishers wanted, and you can sort of see how Narnia / Lord of the Rings hit all those tropes. Very true. Also, they were a bit more... the tropes were a little bit less played out at the time. And especially the whole being a metaphor for other things type situation. I always find it weird what happened to, what happened to Sherlock. It's like the entire time he had all these stories planned out, but people bugged him so much, he's like, screw it, Sherlock dies, I'm done. I'm out. You people are nuts. It's like, no, that's not my Sherlock, which is funny, because as much as there's been, like, missteps and stuff like that, I was watching a thing recently. It's kind of going over the kinds of differences and similarities and whatever else with, like, kind of the entire series of Star Wars and stuff like that. And I'll be honest, I was always more of a Star Trek guy myself, but it, you know, it was just interesting to read about, well, I guess read and watch about the sort of, I guess, progress of how it all went, like why things wound up the way they wound up and all that kind of thing. Because honestly, that kind of stuff interests me more than how they're actually trying to make the entire thing work. Because, yeah, originally it wasn't supposed to have all this crazy extended stuff, and it was supposed to be all kind of a loose system as far as how everything worked. Like, just, oh, somebody has powers now, I guess they just do, it's fine, don't question it. And then over time, people started cataloging all this stuff, and, you know, stuff got a little bit weird, because then suddenly a new thing is introduced, and people cry that it ruined their stuff, etc., etc. But anyway, so, What the hell was my original point here, anyway? I don't know. I don't know. I would like Bordeaux to be done already. That's for sure. That is for dang sure. Wait, did I... Yeah, he still has the Vagrant sleeves. I was gonna say, does he actually have his casting stuff or no? One of these days, it will spawn with actual stuff I can fight. One of these days. I know it exists because I've seen it. Oh, by the way, speaking of weird stuff going completely haywire, the other day, out of a bit of curiosity and supporting folks that we know, we went to a Sunday school thing for the first time in never. And it's funny because, like, the teacher actually was, like, a legit scholarly sort, you know, was trying to find a good middle ground of, you know, trying to find the thread between the metaphor and the story, and it's just funny because as much as he was trying to mediate the class, there were, like, a bunch of old folks in there that kept coming in with, like, let's just say they definitely represented the weird part of everything. Like, funnily enough, we apparently came in on Apocalypse Day, so they were going on about Revelation, whatever else, and I'm like, okay, you know, let's see where they're going with this. So he's like, okay, you know, here's, you know, metaphors for this, this, this. Nobody knows for sure what the hell they were talking about, basically. Like, you know, this is... You know, this could mean this thing, this could mean this other thing. Old guy raises his hand, chimes in like, no, all of this stuff means exactly this, and climate change is not a thing now that we have to worry about because it'll just happen, because there's this line over here about drunk people, which means that we don't have to worry about it, it's going to happen anyway. Like, you can see a few folks looking around like, is this guy serious? And then later on, somebody else chimes in with a similar thing of like they don't believe science is real now because the Bible exists, and it's like, are you sane, or what's your deal? But it's funny because it was literally just like all the old folks that kept coming in with this weird crap, and then just get the occasional guy like, I'm so thankful for all this stuff that was over here, over and over, and oh man, it was awkward. It was super awkward. Alright, is this the one? Is this the one? This can work. This one can actually work. Holy crap, we can actually do some stuff. Yeah, save it. Save that mess. Alright. Oh, now how long did Sunday school last before you said Lizard Man is the one true religion? Honestly, I didn't even need to. They were pretty close to getting there themselves. Which... Okay, the last bit that I mentioned is it's a very Mormon thing to try and be as emotional as possible when saying anything. As far as I can tell, it's kind of unique to the religion, but it's like a whole thing where people break down crying in the middle of telling some random story about their cat or some such, and it's supposed to be a thing that they're overwhelmed by spirituality or whatever, and let's just say seeing an older guy get pretty much like that over how much he doesn't like climate science is weird. It was weird. It was definitely not weird. Also, wait a minute. If this guy's just gonna sit here shadowfaxing over and over, we're good. Yeah, he's actually gonna do... Oh, man. Oh, man, we can actually out-heal this guy. So we can just sit here re-poisoning over and over. Eventually Perry will roll, or he'll just die. And we can match him turn for turn, so functionally speaking, we're coming out positive from this. Yeah, good. Good. Oh, no. Nope. Bad. Everything's terrible. I take it back. This is why it sucks that this class doesn't get access to better healing. Why can't I have healing? Alright. Let's try a different approach. Because I have a feeling this is the one that needs to be waiting. And if this a-hole could stop critting, that would be awesome. Let's see, for the curious, the best-selling fantasy was a young adult about a child who was brought in a fantasy adventure and left at the end. Tolkien took these tropes, made the children hobbits, made it not young adults, sold millions, which made the publisher invest more in adult fantasy novels. Interesting. Interesting. Poison that dude so he goes away. I think they're berserkers, so I think they'll still go in the water, but we'll see how this goes. Oh, man, if I could stop doing that. Alright. Let's see what we can accomplish here. As we know, 3 is their effective screw you range. Terror Knight more like Terrified Knight? Yeah. That's what I was saying earlier. They're kind of the quintessential tank here, because they're just a class that literally cannot function. It's not made to function on its own. And oh, I think I found it. They're traveling left. And if they could stop double turning me, come on now. Right. He's very close to getting finished off. He's immune to Shackle for some reason. Why are you immune to Shackle? Get Stun Ward, that wouldn't do it. It's probably because I was looking at Cooper Bell, wasn't I? Right, I think go here, take a heal. That guy... Yeah, they start traveling away. Take another heal. He gets close, probably tries to use... Nope, we're gonna leave that there, kiddo. Okay, you can have that, that's fine. He has a finisher, but he doesn't want to use it. I hope. It's close, but that is the way to do it. Alright. Alright, so water, 100% the way to do it. Not going to go for MP. Should be fine without it. Because then we can just avoid the damage entirely. Let's go ahead and put a spell slip on this guy. Or not. Alright. Poison on you. And run away. If we take the very bottom corner here, and just repeatedly run in, poison, and run away, it doesn't look like they've got healing options. So yeah, that might be the way to do this. Yeah, WAP 2, not very threatening. Drain Mind on you. Should put you down to a WAP 1. Oh, for God's sake, this guy and his crits. Alright, that'd do a decent chunk, but it's not gonna be... It's not gonna be the fight ender. Not the one I need, anyway. Alright. Take the 83. I think I've already screwed this up. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so this way works. Need to skip the poison on the first guy. Because functionally speaking, every time I use poison here, It should be about the equivalent of doing about 60 to 80 damage, give or take. Go for this. Because that'll do 10% of their, or actually 20% of their health, as well as preventing them from moving. In fact, Leaden might be the best starter for this. So if I can slow them down... If I can slow them down enough to cause problems like this, then maybe we're onto something. There we go. Yeah, he's pretty harmless. And this is our axe boy, right? Yeah. So what I need is probably to make sure... Yeah, I need to make sure that he attacks me from a water tile. So if I go right here, he has to stand in water, meaning he has the best chance to miss. In fact, I can just ignore that entirely by just doing this. So they've only got one guy that can do anything. Poison. Missed something, got a call. Not much missed at the moment. Right, then we hobble. Wait a second. Alright, I need to... I don't think I can actually check what that did without it counting as a Chariot use. No, I should just be able to stay away from him now. What's up, kiddo? What's going on? What do you mean? Well, go play then. Oh, it's okay. You can use those. You can go there. Don't say anything against it, kiddo. Alright, let's put this on real quick. And try to go here. That would have been really helpful. Oh, well, we should just be able to heal now. What you doing? So I just noticed. I forgot to give him his heavier weapon back. That's why we're having such problems here. Perfect. Come on, survive. Can we whop away here? And we're basically dead if we whop away. Drain, can't drain. So hoping for a block is the only hope. Block it. Really? Okay, cool. In fact, that should be checkmate then. Because he is by far the most threatening unit. So they shouldn't be able to use their punching moves if I just sit here in the water. They've only got their whops and things. So that does 34. Go for Drain Hard here. Bleeding the Gryphon guy. What the? Oh, okay, good, good, good. So that would have been an insta-kill if it wasn't for these. These, functionally speaking, will reduce summon damage to nothing. Without them, they will ruin your day real nice. Right, now we just basically run around poisoning everything, and we should be solid. And hopefully one of them drops some decent armor. So little by little by little. These guys should not be interested in doing anything to recover. There we go. What's up? Well, go get your airplane. I don't have your airplane. Boys missed. Excellent. Would be nice if the other Cyclops would get close, but no such luck. Yeah, probably not time for a plume yet. Dodge might help. It's just, once you get to this point, buffs become kind of weird. So I don't want to get into melee range, so we're going to be a little bit out of here. But yeah, I started seeing less effect from buffs kind of around this point. Because Strengthen will help for finishers, but it won't help for a general purpose thing. Let's see, Image Gravity Flux you. Yes. Prevent you from going anywhere at least. Because if we go up to these guys, right? Oh, actually, come to think of it, they don't have their punchy moves, do they? Interesting. Okay. For some reason, they don't have their punchy moves. So we'll just go right here, stick in the water. Miss with the poison, because of course. There. This is cheap, this is cheesy, but you know what? I'm really outmatched here, so it's the best option. Your snack? What happened to your snack? Did you already eat your snack? Well, we're gonna have lunch in a minute, okay? You're okay. You want your lunch early? Yes, ma'am. Alright, let's get you your lunch, alright? Hang on, so I'm gonna be stepping away for just a moment, because my daughter wants her lunch, so it'll be just 1 sec. Also, funny story that I just remembered about upon getting back. Alright, and that right there is why you prep lunch in the morning. And it's just good to go. So, okay, funny story. Yesterday, yesterday we went to this restaurant, right? And I figured, well, we basically got a free coupon for it. Free coupon for a couple things there, anyway. And so we figured, you know, it might be interesting to go check it out, so I went ahead and did that. Now, we had no idea going into this place. Apparently it's like a higher-end, kind of fancy restaurant-type situation in some malls. But we didn't really know what it was exactly. So we end up ordering whatever looks unique off the menu, and you know, just kind of just want to try it all out. Now, there's one thing in particular, this place is called Blackstone, by the way, that kind of stuck out. It was like, you know, they're basically saying they've got a unique sandwich called the mother of all sandwiches. I'm like, man, that sounds epic as hell. I want one of those. And so, you know, I go and order this thing, figuring, you know, maybe this will be interesting. Maybe it'll be something good. Little did I know, this thing was not a sandwich, actually. Not even kind of. The thing that they called the mother of all sandwiches was more of a quadruple fried burrito. But anyway, oh, let's see. Want to be a good daddy and feed your daughter? I can better than these. Well, I already did. She ate. She's literally eating right here. Anyway, so yeah, like I just looked at this thing and just got a weird, just horrible gut feeling just looking at it. And turns out I wasn't wrong on that one. The thing was a horror show. It's like fried steak plus fried onions plus fried mushrooms, which I don't really eat mushrooms, so I went and picked off all the mushrooms, even though I told them to put the mushrooms on the side, but they instead left the mushrooms in and put more mushrooms on the side. Anyway, so the point being is, yeah, just like this, it's not normal that I ever look at a food and immediately just, well, get scared of the food. It's like there's something very wrong with this allegedly sandwich-related thing. And yeah, like, just felt horrible afterwards, because yeah, it was the most fried thing I think I've ever eaten. Which is weird, because it seemed like a pretty fancy restaurant, but whatever. Point being, if you have a Blackstone near you, never get the mother of all sandwiches. That thing will punish your insides. Like McDonald's is frightening too. See, but like McDonald's is basic and still sort of like edible, I guess. This thing was I don't even know what to call it really. It's just terrifying. Like legit, I just looked at the thing and it looked scary. And my wife makes fun of me that I'll eat literally anything, and this thing was apparently a bridge too far. So I don't even know what to think of that, but oh well. So let's go ahead and finish off this guy then. FF7 reference! Or I guess more FFT referencing FF7, whatever. That thing. Oh, what do you got there?
Show, please.
Show, please? Okay. Yes, ma'am. Let's see. Don't let food in my belly that wouldn't decay over 2 weeks and still looks the same as day one. Given what some of the stuff our guests left in our fridge looked like, I'm not sure it didn't go bad. It certainly didn't look appealing at any real point. Alright, and almost done here. This is amazing. This fight that shouldn't be possible is almost done. Alright, you're running us... yeah. So yeah, you've only got a one-tile finisher, so as long as we stay in the water and cheese this, it's possible. We can do this. We have the technology. I'm just gonna go ahead and leave him there for a second. 2, 3, 4, 5. Do the suck. There we go. Thankfully, most of these are percentage-based. The only one that isn't percentage-based is this poison mist here. Giving them the Sierra Mist. Let's just wait a turn. We'll wait more turns while they continue being poisoned. Oh dang! Joker's already on Netflix? That was quick. Alright, dude died and they immediately stole their loot. What an a-hole. Hang on, one quick second. Let me figure out what's wrong with this thing. Hang on, why so many classes? Why up so many classes? Basically, I am trying to kind of cheese a mechanic here. So, I'm doing neutral because it's got a Terror Knight that can be hired in, and if you scale up the game when he's hired in, it comes in with an elemental two-hander as well as a full set of worm scale or possibly dynamo plate. So basically, you can become OP as hell. So yeah, that will kind of open up the opportunity for being able to actually get into the late game later. Let's finish you off. And then let's go finish you off and call it good. Oh, it feels good! Goodbye. That's how it's done. Son of a dick, we need to do it again. Okay, quick experiment. Just to make sure. Hang on, let me save that right there. Now, one quick moment, I'll be right back. Alrighty, so there we go. That was, needed to make sure that the kiddo got more stuff. Alright, so next order of business. Let's go check one quick thing here, because there is a... I don't know why I'm save stating there, I already saved. There is a more than decent chance that we're still going to need to do this another way. But we're going to test something real quick here. Because 28 is not enough to actually scale up this fight. As you can see, they're still coming in with Baldur gear. But what I want to see is, I believe even if it scales up after this fight, we still don't get credit for it. So yeah, we'll easily one-shot every single thing on this map. But this is what I meant about the story fights won't scale up. So we just gotta wait for it and run around exercising everything. This is really annoying in vanilla because exorcism is 30 and they never let themselves get to that point. So we gotta make sure that Diebold lives. Which is a little bit annoying, but there we go. Yeah, I do probably have to do it again, but I want to test one quick thing here. Because if they both come in, that means one of them's unscaled. But I'm thinking if I kill off Aurelius and end up getting that extra level, there's a possibility the game will just bug out and let me have it. So we'll see. So right now, first order of business is make sure that the Mr. Dude guy is in decent shape. Oh, you terrible person, come on! Let exorcisms happen. Right, now she's gonna have to heal herself. What we need to do is get this down to just a few units, then kill off Aurelius. There we go. Any day now. Problem is we got a little bit bogged down, I can't really move here. And again, downside of this class in particular is that I can't actually exercise anything in any manner whatsoever. Even by endgame, there's no actual methods for which the TK can exercise anything. need a heal, lady. We're just fine. I gotta run this way. Might already be too late. Alright, yeah, no. Let's see if we can trick the game. So first things first, don't get locked down. I'll be able to take out two right here. Need to get to the back there. Need to go take care of the casters. So if I go down the middle and then go down to save Diebold. And I'm cut off. Wonderful. Basically, she needs to get about 5 or 6 exorcisms in, and then at that point you can just overwhelm them. Okay, that's fine. Shackled is honestly better than dead in this particular instance, because it'll make him stay down a little bit longer. Come on, exorcism. I don't need a heal, lady. It's fine. Diebold does. Yeah, we got locked down again. We need is to be able to go faster. To go faster, hit harder, we're going to go Nomads and Shin Guards. It's about as light as armor reasonably gets while not sucking, so I'll just go ahead and do that. Even a basic warrior or whatever else would be able to use exorcisms or holy water bottles. Hello again, Mr. Cow. Oh no, you took it apart. Why'd you take it apart? Alright. This time, let's try not to get locked down. Not really sure what she's doing. Although there is a... Interesting. Why is she not exercising? So, more than likely this will be a kind of fruitless endeavor, but it's worth a try. I can't use exorcism scrolls. This is not the base game. This is the One Vision rebalance. If this was the base game, yeah, you could absolutely just use scrolls. I could use Exorcism 2s by this point, more than likely. For that matter, this would be a completely unnecessary endeavor to begin with. But yeah, no, this is, like I said, this is One Vision. Basically, it rebalances the entire game to be more, well, I guess honest to itself, to be honest. So everything kind of just makes sense and or tries to be as balanced as possible. Okay, so... Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and just nuke right here. But yeah, so there's no ability to use scrolls from the inventory. I basically have to learn all magic stuff beforehand. There are actually more available exorcism options, I should point out, in this version. So normally if you have anyone that can use Field Alch 1, which Terror Knights are not able to do, you'd just be able to use holy water from the inventory. So instead of being a skill, it's an inventory item. In this case, you know, can't really do that. Let's go ahead and get rid of you. This is looking passable, though. Good. Everyone attack me. What's that? You found a stick? Yeah. Well, we don't need it, okay? You found another one? Oh, man. There's sticks everywhere. Let's nuke it right here. Should get rid of a lot of their offense. If they could stop critting him dead, that'd be amazing. Thank you! Where are you finding all these sticks? Oh, another stick? Is that a stick? It's a stick, huh? Does this have anything to do with the fact that you took this thing apart? Because I have a feeling it does, doesn't it? How many... You really ruined this thing good, didn't you? Jeez. Alright. Yeah, stick. Your tater tot? Yeah. It's my daughter. She has, like, one of these, Hawaiian lei things that somehow got busted up, and it has, like, these little sticks in between pedals. And, she's just handing them over and over because she somehow took the thing apart. She's like, stick! 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 Alright, so I adjusted everything a little bit here, so it should do better. So what I did, went for the Silver Slayer instead of the Boulder Blade. So we should be getting better bonus damage off that. Yeah, we're doing a lot better. So we shouldn't be seeing any units just left over. I might be able just to clean out the middle, just off counterattacks. What I need is just to take the pressure off the two guests here so that they actually exercise instead of anything else. Which means that they need health above probably above 80 or so. Or 80% or so. So if we just go ahead and drop a Thunder Beast over on you. Should keep pressure off. That should do very much. You're just going to finish yourself. No, that's why I wasn't worrying about it. Diebold stepping in. Good. The two of them are staying close. That's what I'd like to see. Now, if she could exercise one of the ones up top so I could actually take care of the ones on the right, that would really help a lot, but right now we're in kind of a stalemate. Right, there we go. That one's moved. She'll just take care of herself in a moment. Yeah, Drain Heart doesn't work on them anymore. IV and Gravity Flux do, though. Can I Drain Mind this one? Yeah, but there's not really much reason to do so. There we go, let's paralyze him then. Oh, we don't need boots right now though, kiddo. Hey, we don't need boots right now. I don't know what to tell you, we're not going anywhere. Can you go put them back?
Bye-bye.
No, we're not going bye-bye. We're gonna go bye-bye later though. Okay? Mommy's at work right now. Alrighty, so let's see, do these Twitch channel points things do anything? I keep clicking add Gryphons to random battle for 100 points with mine. Yes. Kind of. They're supposed to do more stuff. I actually should set them up to do more stuff. Basically, at the moment, I think I just have, like, for 1,000 or something, you suggest a challenge run, which honestly, whatever run sounds interesting, I'll do anyway. I should do something like that. I should see what kind of screwed up, I should see if there is a way. No, okay, there's not going to be a way to add Gryphons to a random battle, but I might be able to do some other stuff with it. you gone. This is getting closer. Problem is they can almost revive in the time that it takes for us to take down one. Yeah, I need to be covering Diebold here. No way out of Gryphons or random battles, says the man who spent an hour running away from Gryphons or random battles. No, I mean, like, there's no... I was thinking if there was a cheat code that I could put in to make that happen. Absolutely would. Oh, come on, Diebold. You were literally unkillable the last time we did this. Oh, boy. This is what happens when you try to save the random neutral NPCs. Clearly nothing goes wrong whatsoever. Right. Not a single thing went wrong and everything was fine forever. So what I'm doing, I'm trying to get rid of the casters because they're repeatedly pressuring her. I need to get rid of the archers because they're relatively slow and they can keep getting knocked down. If I can stagger out their knockdowns, that might help a little bit. Problem is I need to get Diebold to the middle, need to keep protecting him, and then need to keep using big boomy AoEs over and over. And I forgot to get the Silver Slayer again. Dang it! And he got the poison off on her again, because of course 20% will roll every single dang time. Alright. Really need up a cleric. I mean, the clerics are pretty freaking strong in OV, to be fair, but still. Then Thunder Beast you're just gonna knock yourself out, hopefully with a crit. And then that's really about all I can realistically do for the moment. Like, the only reason I'm using the Terranite is for the purposes of this fight only, so I'm just retiring the class and going probably to the White Knight or something like that after this. Good lord, man! You were nearly unkillable last time! Alright. We're going full crazy boy mode then. Let's get rid of these, let's get the cross. And Sphinx for 1,000? Oh god, no. Well, that will happen later. There technically are more or less Sphinxes later. No, I have no idea how I'm going to deal with those, but you know what? One thing at a time. Alright, we're going to put on Dodge instead of Strengthen this time, because we should have the functional equivalent of Strengthen with the Silver Slayer. I mean, we're one-shotting everything anyway, but I'm just avoiding those pesky little barely leftovers. Just slow everyone down a little bit. Never mind, you already got yourself killed. Sculptopus. But you can just use the Sculptopus, it's right here. Just use that thing. Right, now we make big booms happen. And hopefully she'll exercise this dude on the ground right here. Good. Stun is very helpful here. Especially for that reason. Oh, come on! What are you doing? I don't need to heal too. Woman, like, half my health is more than your entire bar. It's fine, okay? Stun this guy. 'Cause I need this one below me to move. Don't have that one unlocked. Really? I thought you did the subby thing. I thought that means you get all of it. Right. How on earth was this such an easy thing last time? Right. Can you beat the game with only Octos? Yes. Yes, you can. You very much can, especially in vanilla. Like, in the base game, friggin' Poison Rain and Aqua Veil is about as OP as everything gets. You're functionally running artillery at that point. See, 3 tiers, only tier 1, so that for you? Really? I thought that was... Sorry, I thought it was that for everybody. Well, my bad. I mean, I guess it technically wasn't my fault, but I have no idea how it works, so... Anywho, yeah, just, if you want a Skulltopus, let me know. If you want a Skulltopus or the Archer. Which is weird that it only gave you one, because didn't you get a bunch for a bunch of others or something like that? If I recall correctly? Alright. Now we go around this way. Alright, that's not doing any wonders. Now if I can get around the side, drop Grand Cross in the middle of that crap. Oh, for God's sake, with your crits! You gotta be kidding me, man! The RNG today is amazing. Like, it's really something else. These guys can't stop sitting and healing because they keep getting crit over and over and over. Diebold got friggin' 15% stunned. More sub points, you unlock more slots. If you hit partner, you can unlock even more emotes. Well, that requires, I think it said like 100 people watching at once, so that's a little bit unlikely. Because we literally just, like, if 10% of the entire Reddit happened to be on at once and talking at the same time, then it would be possible. See, super sad none of the mods have added in Secret Skulltopus mob, or what are those undead octopi in the Palace of the Dead supposed to symbolize? I mean, they might... Come to think of it, I can probably ask Rakes to rename those to the Skulltopus. I wonder if he'd do it. Alright, let's put this on. And once again, he smacks him for a ton of damage right off the bat. Okay, that's decent enough. Wish that I could pick up Squash at this point, because getting rid of that shrub in the middle would really solve a lot of problems. Because they keep lining up in this little line down the center of the map. Alright, I need this one going, though. And then need to go deal with this one. It's just friggin' clogs all over the place. Please do some exorcisms. Exercise! Dang it, Aurelius! How? How is this so easy in, like, every testing run I've done and the last stream and everything? What happened? I mean, technically, if this is just a test run, I probably should just turn on infinite turns and, you know, wrap this up. Then we can at least test whether it actually works. It's gonna feel real stupid if it doesn't work after this. Love how Elias is just sitting there, just staring. Like, herp, derp, I can't help. I'm about to start going into this fight naked. Alright, what can we possibly do here? I guess just strengthen. Is that a train? And daughter's obsessed with trains. It's awesome. Alright. Let's see if we can lock you down up here. Take over this side. Yeah, on this side of the wall this time. He runs around, doesn't get hit. Hopefully she gets a few more exorcisms off. Come on, everybody focus on me. Lady! What are you doing? You gotta be joking me. Like, both your guys' health combined is not enough to equal my bar, and you're like, nah, this guy needs healing, though. Choo-choos, exactly. All the choo-choos. Thunder Beast this guy. So he's not doing anything. You're gonna counter yourself. He's not gonna deal with ghosties up there. Hopefully that gets enough pressure off that she decides to actually do her dang job. Lady. I'm not sure what it takes for you to friggin' do your exercising thing. I mean, do we really gotta go get you a friggin' subscription to Planet Fitness or some crap? There we go. Gee, you know what would be absolutely fantastic? Having less things hitting everybody. You know what would really help with that? Not bothering to heal 30 health and actually exercising instead. Gee, what a novel concept. Alright. Literally all we can do to help right now. Because these absolute geniuses... Ah, man. This is seriously just impressively bad right now. Stop dying! Oh no, how could this have happened? If you don't use exorcism, it's your one job! This is, admittedly, this is probably a good reason that I should have just gone ahead and waited for neutral to actually finish being adjusted in the mod. Because she's supposed to have a skill that makes her use exorcisms as, like, an actual skill, or an action move instead of her main turn, which would kind of sort this problem out. Thank you, annoying flying guy, for getting in the way. Thank you, that lady, for getting a crit 7 out of 10 times. How does that happen? So if I can plug up the gaps, force them to go back near the water, then we're on to something. I'll finish that guy off. Go ahead and drop a big boom right there. Go ahead and take that tile, which should keep her safe, I think, right? Yeah. Nice awkward diagonal. Right. So that, I believe that's actually the tile I took last time. So with that, she'll hopefully start doing her actual job. As long as Dival stops dying. Actually, don't do that. Go for a paralytic. Or not. Yeah, just slow everybody for now. This reminds me of a time I tried something. Don't remember what the test run was easier than the real attempts. Yeah. That's always the thing with tricks, though. She's literally right here trying to friggin' attack stuff. And try to hit slow on everybody. And then hopefully one of these days she'll figure out, oh wait, actually using exorcism on the zombies is a good idea. Oh hell. Lady, you better hurry the hell up with getting out of here. Oh my goodness. These AIs are worthless. There. Giant wall of friggin' knocked out zombies. Can you deal with it now? Yeah, zombies. It's okay. So the basic premise of this whole fight, or I guess of this whole part of neutral, is in neutral there's basically a guy that's running around with a zombie army, more or less, just kind of experimenting, just kind of for giggles, more or less. Actually, the zombie guy on the right there, or the guy in the gold armor, is one of his experiments. It's like one successful experiment. It's later implied. But yeah, the idea is that these are kind of his kids that tried to stop him and more or less got, well, stuck in a rut here. So they're kind of just all bogged down, and so the guy that they're fighting at the start of the cutscene is one of your previous allies, which the guy ends up getting kind of getting killed off screen, and yeah, so you end up fighting him. There we go. See? Exorcism. Good. They make dragon go away. Now please do that again. Like, preferably the entire fight. And the first time that we went through this, she just kept doing it over and over, and... oh, for God's sake, everybody gets a crit? All three get a crit. Okay. Thought that it was Brad Pitt versus the zombies? Kind of. He does kind of look like Brad Pitt, doesn't he? Now, if I go up and give her an MP leaf, that should, ideally, cause her to decide to exercise more, because she's just trying to use her best things that she can. And if I recall, heal 2 takes 12. Let's see, exorcism's 20. Yeah, heal 2 takes 15, heal takes 10. So I need her to have 20. Is actually getting there. I don't think I can use spell charge as a TK. That'd certainly help out. See, Giant Wall of Brad Pitt vs. Zombies is more of a fanfiction title, I think. See, all I remember about that movie is that one dude that friggin' falls, gets hyped up for like 10 minutes and then just basically falls down and shoots himself in the head on accident. It was just the most out-of-nowhere hilarity. Aurelius? Come on. Please actually do stuff. And dead again. Come on, RNG. Work with me. See, didn't Skull Island have a giant octopus fight? Does that count as Skulltopus? Did it? Admittedly, I actually haven't seen Skull Island. Alright, we're gonna take a slightly different route this time, see if it works out. If I had Squash, I would just be using that right now. Actually, one potential other idea here. To the dead. Paralytic Wave. Alright, let's see what that does. So that's all it is. I need to get her that leaf. Yeah, they're going to take those 2 tiles. He's going to walk away. I can run up and deliver what I need to deliver. You dick! What are you doing? Why? Why is that your build? You never spawn in with a dagger. Oh, for God's sake. Should have worn a helmet. I don't think that really would have helped him. He literally just, like, falls down and pops himself. He's just all excited with his pistol, slips on some rain, and blows his brains out. Like, just as soon as the scene starts. It's kind of hilarious. Alright, just wait. Alright. He's still ticking for now. Good, now leave. Now let me go deliver that dang leaf. And hope he survives around. This is just irritating. That one tile in the middle. That's all that's happening here. I just need these a-holes to move out of my way so that I can go force-feed drugs to a friggin' priest. Only tactics over problems. I mean, I don't know what else it would be. It's just a weird, glowy red leaf. Survive with 1 health. This one friggin' archer. My god. It's like literally all they're doing is running around and causing problems. They're not even that threatening, it's just that they're not going away. Let's just cross that. We're literally almost getting to the point of just overwhelming them by sheer damage. I'm not sure what just happened there, and one quick sec. Or not? What are you guys up to? Is it about a ball? Okay, let's try with that setup, I guess. Alright, you know what? Here. One quick thing. Because I want to make sure that this is... even a thing that can work, right? Let's go here. Got a thing here for infinite actions. We're just going to turn it on once, because I just want to make sure that this won't be a complete waste of time once we finally do pull it off. Because there's been a lot of that for this already. So this one doesn't count. This is just testing. So if you've never tried the Action Infinite cheat, this is basically what it does. You can just keep on doing stuff over and over. Now, as long as you don't take certain actions... Like, for example, if you don't use an action move, you just keep doing this forever. Yep. So you could save a lot of time doing it this way. And, because we need stuff to happen, Aurelius goes away too. Alright, let's see what happens. Get to 29, that's the scale-up level. Thanks for help. Right. Yeah, no. So yeah, that would have been a complete waste of time. So, in that case we need to do another border fight. Let's speed over everything else. There's a Griffin. And an archer, so no. But, tell you what, this is going to take forever to redo again, so I think what we're going to do, we're going to call it for right now. I'm going to go ahead and, get everything all set up for the next one. Vale paid for that, Griffin. Dang it. Dang it, Mr. Vale, what you doing here? Trying to sabotage this run. There was no way caused by my own stupidity. I'm curious whether the aqueduct will spawn something winnable. Very no is the answer. Double archers, yeah, that's gonna go great. I guess technically speaking, if I'm way in the back, but and nothing to spend my points on besides the Gryphons. Well, I mean, I guess I'll have to add stuff. I need to see how to add stuff to that points thing. Also, considering how fast they go up, I should probably up it to like 10,000 to the guaranteed run. Especially considering how long these do, because I think it's only 1,000 or so. Randoms, please? No, just keep spawning on that one that I don't want one from, huh? This game is mean today. Why is it so mean today? Must have offended it or something. How do I say my points? No clue. I'll be honest, I have no idea. It's probably like exclamation mark spuds or something. Oh, that's a good promise saying there's a Griffin. There's 2 Gryphons! Mr. Vale, stop buying Gryphons. Let's undersend a message. Oh, wrong fight. So this is the one that I was talking about was just zombies. So as long as no wizards spawn in here, you kind of... I mean, you can usually have a pretty easy time. Problem is, yeah, I can't really down them all. I'd like to buy 6 runs. Oh no. Well, I guess I'm occupied for the next 3.5 decades. If all of them are going as well as this one. Only 1 tosser here. 1 wizard, 1 everything. I mean, it's workable. I'm gonna give this 1 attempt and then, all good. And yeah, then we'll be doing the mana run in like an hour and a half. Well, that went well. Alright, anyway. So, thank you guys for stopping by for this one. What's truth or dare? No clue. I should seriously go set that up, because I think I looked at it once some 2 years ago, and then had no idea since. Anyway, so, I'm gonna go ahead and leave this be for the moment. And yeah, we'll be back for the mana thing in about an hour and a half. So see you guys then, take care, and thank you for stopping by.